Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Shooting the Shelf, live from LegionsCon. It is the aftermath. Tonight, we've got a couple of familiar guests joining Curtis and I.
Female guests?
I mean, maybe. Whatever floats your boat, Matt.
I thought it was goat.
I like where this is going.
We got Sean Scavarna and
That's him.
Matthew Dooch
That's
from
me.
our companions at Offworld, which if you're not subscribed, go to Let's Go Offworld on YouTube and Let's Go Offworld podcast on YouTube and subscribe over there and stuff. But hey, guys, we are live. This is the first time at this event that all four of us have been in the same room at the same time. We finally got to meet and smell Dooch.
Yep.
It's everything you'd expect it to be.
That's actually, you make a joke, but literally during our live that we did for the Master Universe Revolution trailer, I did let out quite a substantial cloud of gas. And so...
Oh, I just meant like your deodorant, your cleanliness. I mean, okay.
I actually thought Dooch had a more pleasant smell than I would have expected.
You know, right back at you, Curtis.
Thank you.
But that thing about the gas,
Yeah.
not pleasant.
No.
Yeah. Well,
It was in my mouth.
You know
at
what
one
Jesse
point.
says? If you can smell it, then the particles are on your tongue.
That's right.
So
That is science.
Well, they're all over the room
It-
now, so...
The amount and
Taste
the
is 75%
viscosity made
smell.
it that feel like I had Thanksgiving dinner.
I don't
that
think
night.
this is where we expected the show to start.
This is why they don't let us
This
on
is
often, folks.
exactly how I thought this show was
But
going to
hey,
start.
it's Offworld Shooting the Shelf live from post Legion's Con
And Legends of Grayskull.
and Legends of Grayskull
Thank you.
and stuff. And Curtis's family is currently working
Yeah,
as they walk through behind the camera.
Come on over, Jake.
Yeah.
But he
Over,
is
Jacob.
smiling, so I don't think he's working
There's Jacob. That's my
too
son.
hard.
There is
Uh,
the best male Ackerman I have ever met.
There you go.
And
yeah,
We've
they
got
are.
some folks behind us here too.
Yeah, they're on our shelf.
We're
They
going
are-
to shoot them later.
We're going to shoot
In
them.
staying with the theme of the show.
Sean just has little arms coming out of his head. It's the new Cosmic Legion wave. We got a teaser. Let's see those arms coming up from Sean's head again.
There you go.
Where are they?
They're
They're not-
wrong
there we
side.
go, there we go.
Oh,
If you're leaving comments, I'm partially blind and I can't read the
Yeah,
comments
Ooh,
from
let
over
me
here.
pull it up on my phone. I can get it.
So
here.
I can't.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Chris. I was just thinking we should have planned for that.
I'm sorry. You
Yes.
said what? Now I had a what?
That was a good idea.
I had
have-
a good idea.
I have no
Hey,
problem complimenting you in the
uh,
rare times you deserve
Darla,
it.
you want to come over here for a second?
Oh, Darla!
oh, bring her, come on.
This
This
is my
woman-
favorite Ackerman.
This is my lovely wife, Darla.
This woman is a saint and a half.
Hey,
Yes.
Darla, Darla, just remember, it's never too late, all right? Either,
Dude, you're married.
Time
Huh?
to get out.
no, not me. I just want,
oh,
I just
he-
want her. I just want better things for her.
He
I'm looking
he
out for her.
previously just
Yeah,
said she could
I
do
love
better.
you.
So yeah.
Keep loading up the car. I'll do my show. All right.
Did she just flip you off?
Hold on. I
No,
got to turn my
she was
volume
showing
down.
her wedding
This is very
ring off.
unprofessional.
Why is her
So-
wedding ring on her middle finger? Does she have two of them?
That's how they do it in Missouri.
Yes.
Let's see.
like
We've
brass
got.
knuckles.
Let me just call out some folks in the chat. We got Vonnie Rotten Picks, Big Dub, who's on our shelf.
Thanks, Big Dub.
We got Maverick, Juan Diego Rincon, Chris Durant, Michael Casper, Kirby, Darth Blaze, Greg, formerly of the Brute Scale, Anthony Houseel, who's now at home, saying that we're 75% awesome tonight. I wonder what that other 25%
Why does he hate
is.
Sean so much?
I don't know.
Said you-
I
he
wouldn't
said you
wrestle
can
him last
do
year.
much more with less douche. So
That
that was
was-
by subtraction. Hey, Big
Did
Dub,
I
what's
hear
up?
correctly? We were talking about flatulence to start the
Yes.
It wasn't how we planned to start it, but it did
So you
go
know
that way.
a thing about flatulence. If you hold it in, it come out your mouth.
Really?
See, so
Interesting.
I'll have to try
You
that
gotta,
for you.
you gotta
next
let it
time,
ride.
Sean.
And,
Purple
and when
your
you let
poop.
it ride,
yeah.
you gotta say safety.
All right.
Yeah,
now,
I
Say
remember
safety.
that.
Somebody says doorknob.
we
it's
also
a bad
have
day.
I remember that.
we have Kevin Dufresne. Who
Kevin.
did not make it.
Hey,
but,
hope you're feeling
Kevin,
better, buddy.
Yep, love you. Drum
Miss you,
Gizmo Customs. They had a great show. A lot
Yeah.
of cool stuff. Legends
Mhm.
Collector 1321. Nice seeing you this weekend. Kempool Collects. He's also on our shelf. Look at that.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Those are my hands.
Yeah. Let's see. Abby Normally and Steve O'Beg. Arthur Zoran. Best
Yeah.
table at LegionsCon. Arthur Zoran. I'm going to say that till the day I die.
And
Yes.
he's not and he's including his own table.
Yes, it was much better
Yeah.
than mine. Mine wasn't even close to as good as Arthas's was, just so you know.
Oh, channel member Joe
Oh, yeah.
Gonzalez.
Channel
I can
member
read that
Joe
from over here
Gonzalez.
because it's green.
Says, hey guys.
What's
Hey,
up,
Joe?
And
Mr.
Kirby
Joe.
says, big dub with the sneak attack. Hey,
I was-
we'll take a big dub sneak attack any way we can get it. So
Yeah, I was talking to Joe earlier, and I know he wants to try and come out next year, and that would be amazing.
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
great
Yeah.
guy.
Absolutely.
Got
we
your
want-
exclusives for you, Joe.
yeah, we want to see Joe. We want to see Kevin.
Yep.
Anybody else that couldn't make it this year, definitely want to see here this
Yes.
next year
Yeah.
because it's awesome. So
You were missed. You were talked about. You are loved, and we're sorry you couldn't make it. And life sucks sometimes like that. But I did not get to the positive end of that before my steam ran
that's
out.
all right.
And I do want to throw a big shout out to Greg's mom. I know she had some issues there, but
Yeah.
it looks like she's getting well taken care of. And
And-
just, I know she watches the show with him a lot. Our show, at least. I'm assuming yours as well. So big shout out to Greg's mom
And
Anthony House Seal. I'm sorry that you have to overcompensate by being the inferior House Seal brother. So
wow.
wow. But hey, we all know Tony is the best house seal. So
That is true.
um,
So here's
we also want a quick shout out to Cornboy, who has been
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
under the
yeah,
weather
yeah.
as well.
Prayers.
Cornboy, you were definitely missed as well.
Yep.
It didn't feel quite the same
agreed.
without you here.
yeah, love you, CB.
You've never been here.
So we thought
Been to
we would
shows
like
with them.
focus on some positive stuff from
Yeah.
this weekend. Like really, not that I mean, listen, we know the toys are awesome. We're going to get to the toys. I'm sure on an off world we're going to go through this most recent wave and kind of talk about that.
Yep.
But I thought we would kind of start with our shelf selections being stuff that we saw at the con that we thought was pretty awesome. And then we'll get into our regular part of the show, which is really just like heartwarming stuff that we had throughout the weekend, because we talk a lot about how, LegionsCon is part art exhibit, part toy show, and it's part family reunion. So I really want to focus on that last aspect of it. But before we get there, like I said, let's talk about some shelf selections. What things did you? Now I know there were times where we all had tables, so we were kind of stuck at our table, but we got around a little bit. What kind of things did you guys see that really just blew your mind? Anybody?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
The dioramas. Like we were here Friday night after GCon, and they started putting together these amazing dioramas. One was a giant ruined castle, and then they had Cosmic Dio that's absolutely fucking amazing. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to swear on the show.
No, it's okay.
No, we
Um,
swear. We just don't do it on like intentionally.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's really cool. It's got like 4 separate sections. Like it's probably the best diorama that's ever been built. So,
Is there a reason that maybe you're focusing on that?
Well, that's a different.
aspect?
That's a different part of the
Okay,
story.
okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So then,
Curtis also doubles as Brian Almeida, who made those dioramas.
but yeah. So they were putting those together. I got to help Nate Barch actually put the glass in to around them. So that was really cool. Yep. Sean was there too, I guess. But Nate Barch is amazing.
I was
that's
literally
true.
beside
I
you.
love it.
That's the most Stephen Bishotti thing I've ever heard come out of your mouth.
I guess.
But glorious Nate was there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so then they started filling it with all these figures, and that's the kind of stuff I love. I mean, custom figures are great and everything, but I would go broke just filling my house with diorama pieces, set pieces. You got the space station stuff, Curtis. Like that stuff's amazing. But yeah, that's where I would go broke with doing. So
Can you guys
Louis
hear? Can
Tully
you
and
guys hear the
Ghostbusters?
vibrations when the mic is getting bumped on the table?
that's just
So
more due
is
to other
this
place.
because this is the first time that you guys have really met in person, and you guys do another podcast together, Legends of Grayskull. Check it out, Legendati Facebook group.
Just over 1,000 subscribers this weekend.
Finally, a quick question for Sean: are you just now noticing some of the hand gestures and different tics that Dooch has as he's going through the show?
Honestly, because I've been podcasting with him for 3 years, going on 4 years now, I kind of know them because behind the scenes we'll talk and all that stuff. But when you get the full-on Dooch, you do not know what to expect. I will say that
All
much.
right. Never go full Dooch.
Never go full Dooch unless you are prepared for it.
Okay, got it.
I was prepared for it at least.
But yeah, so right off the bat, those dioramas were just so
Dioramas.
cool coming into, and it set the tone. So
Awesome.
Yes, they are very impressive.
What about you, Sean? Anything that you saw that was just blew your mind?
All of it, but specifically, so for Legends of Grayskull and representing half of Offworld, we were in a different room than Jesse and Curtis, and there were some people who were displaying figures in there. And the one thing, because of it being at Masters Customs, and I'm gonna lean on you on this. What was the name of the?
damn it,
Do you remember?
Paul Stewart.
Paul Stewart. He came in with a ton of Masters of the Universe tribute ideas, and the two that were the ones that I really wish I could have took home. He had one that was the Shadow Equidron.
Sorry, we got distracted for a second. A homeless man walked through.
Oh,
And so did Maynard Seating.
Sorry, Sean.
No problem. No problem. He did up Shadow Equidron as both Stridor and as Night Stalker from Masters,
Those were cool.
and those just made me wish I could have just put the money down in front of him right there and walked away with them.
He
They were
wasn't
gorgeous.
selling them. He was just exhibiting.
Yeah, he was just
Like,
exhibiting.
So good.
Awesome. Jesse?
I would say it's the people. No.
We're gonna get to that.
No, I'd say, oh, man, I literally did. I'd start walking away from the table, and I'd get like 2 or 3 tables away, and then I'd see someone or something would happen, and it's like a golden retriever in the backyard with a tennis ball. It's like, ball, play, and I just go off somewhere, and next thing be back at my table. But I thought it was really cool. Same guy,
Paul Stewart.
Paul Stewart, the Night on Bald Mountain.
Yep.
He said it was like his first dio. And that really,
That was
like,
beautiful.
it was very ambitious. The whole mountain, it had like one of those Halloween lights inside. So it was like, phasing color, and he had all the Warhammer minis as like the dead spirits, and the Mythic Legion custom of Chernobog coming out of the top was just really, really impressive.
You guys should do like a segment on here where like you take cool things like that and like put them on screen so people can see them, and like
That's a good
like
idea.
you select different customs
we could call
and
it something
stuff.
like selecting the shelves or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, something
yeah.
like that. That'd be cool. That'd be
actually
pretty
sounds
cool.
better.
Just
Yeah.
food for thought for future episodes.
I don't know why we don't have Dooch giving us more better ideas like
I know.
this all the
Yeah,
time.
more better ideas.
Just
for
gold.
us. More better.
It's gold, Jerry. It's gold.
Totally.
Curtis.
Well, there's a lot. I'm I can't just stick with one because that would be following the rules. So yeah, you guys don't have to be quiet. They know we're doing this in front of a live.
It's okay.
studio audience.
Collect the beer cans.
Actually,
Worth a nickel, you're
The live
good.
studio audience is behind us.
Yeah. So we are literally doing it in front of the live studio audience. They're behind us, but we're in front of them.
Yeah.
So,
You from the back, big Steve.
So first off, I would say the cosplay. John and Rebecca, which is on Instagram, Simple Tricks and Nonsense, and Action Girl 87. Yesterday they had their Legion Builder Skelly and Goblin, which I've seen pictures of from like PowerCon, but I had not seen it in person. And that was awesome. And then today, John had a Master of the Red Death, and Rebecca was Alithia. And man, that Alithia costume was amazing. The headdress was awesome. She said it was mostly done in foam, but the snakes were like rubber snakes that you get
I
from.
think you were gonna say real for a second.
No, they weren't real. But it was really cool. They did a great job. So that was really cool. I know a lot of people were trying to do photo shoots with those two. Let's see what else. I already talked about Art's table a bunch, but
There's another cosplayer walking around as Red Death, wasn't there?
yeah, Maverick was walking around as
Yep.
Red Death as well. And Maverick did an amazing helmet too for Emil Wickman that he gave him.
You say
that
hi,
was on
guys.
his
You can say
table.
hi.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
We got a bunch of folks walking through. Hey.
Now, I'm sorry. I don't know the people as well as you do you said arts table was the best, right? Which
Yeah.
one was that? Because I saw a lot of tables.
He was in the last row on the same side as me and Jesse.
Yeah.
And he was first of all, I love his gray dwarves, all the Duragard dwarves that he did does. Yeah, all the ones that he does
He does them. He does them
real well.
He does them.
He does them. So yeah, I mean those were amazing, but he would set up his display. He had like some really cool display options with some tier things and some like glass cases on some stuff. And then like you would go back to his table a couple hours later and it would be all different figures, like in different arrangements. Like he kept bringing out more stuff.
Yeah,
and like I even saw last night, he's like, oh, I got some new surprises and stuff for tomorrow. And like you show up today and there's new stuff in there. Art just killed it.
Nice.
So yeah, I think that was amazing. Back to the Maverick thing. You know, he made this helmet for Emil that's actually based off a sculpt that Emil did that I guess inspired Maverick to do it. I know Billy Beige did like a little video of the two of them and stuff on his channel. So that was really cool as well. But yeah, just a lot of, I mean, there's just a ton of great art, a lot of great stuff at the tables all weekend. So yeah, really cool stuff. Anything else since I went over and didn't just do one? Did you guys see anything else that you wanted to really call out before we get into the more personal story type aspects?
Go ahead, Sean. You had something. Just go for it.
I just wanted to put it out there that last year there were people who were in attendance that this year now had tables, which was really crazy.
Yep.
I wanted to shout out especially to two people that I know, David Williams in particular, and Dusty Standerford was here for Dang Studios, and both of them actually had a lot to offer. And David was doing the Cabal Creation stuff, so he had prints, but he also had customs he did. And Dusty had 3D printed pieces for Dios, and he also did the Cabal Creations coloring book that's been pretty popular, and he had that for sale all weekend too.
Yeah, he had a really cool table with those thrones with the lights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do want to make a correction. You know, I sometimes I make mistakes. It happens. Maverick said he didn't give it to Emil. He just showed it to him, and Emil wanted to display it. So I take back.
He wasn't even nice enough.
Yeah,
to give.
I take back all the great things
design,
that I said. Yeah,
makes a killer helmet, gives him no
I
royalties.
think they call that a stealing an IP.
Yeah, like that's a federal offense.
So can we cut that part where I was saying nice things about Maverick?
We're live.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah.
So
I don't edit.
Yeah, so just fuck Maverick.
If we can,
super chat.
We have a super chat $9.99 from Carver Customs. Cheers to all. Cheers to a great LegionsCon, guys. It was great seeing you all and your amazing work. Well, Carver Customs, we really appreciate you. You did an amazing job too. And I want a special shout out to Carver Customs because I was working on a gift with my wife for Len LaGuardia, who is just a sweetheart. And we made him this like baker and this oven and stuff. And we needed like a flame for at the bottom of the oven. And we couldn't find anything that would fit it. He made us a custom flame to go in there. And it was awesome. So thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You rock.
Yeah. And Brian please don't hate me. I'm blanking on names. Brian and his wife had an awesome table. Their display was great. The torches, I was able to grab some of their LegionsCon exclusives. We got some stuff from them for the upcoming 500 subscriber giveaway we'll be doing probably before the end of the year. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, so many people that we've had a chance to talk to on the show had tables.
Speaking of which, real quick, I just want to throw out, I see in the chat now, Captain Firebeard Baker.
Elijah.
Huge, great surprise. I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know that he was coming. And travels over here and joins us for LegionsCon. Total surprise to me. I loved seeing him here. So, Elijah, it was great seeing you. Please come back next year, and we need to get you back on our show because I love hearing your voice.
And don't be too offended that Curtis doesn't keep up with the council chat where you explained that you were coming and what you were doing to get here.
It made it a better surprise.
So, yes.
Sometimes that chat goes fast and furious.
You don't read, so I'm sure if there were If there weren't memes involved,
If
you
he
weren't
would have
reading
done a
it.
picture like showing like this is me getting on a plane, Curtis, like then I would have, but yeah, that was an awesome surprise. And then Laura says she asked who won the trivia contest, and that's a difficult question to answer.
I think.
Are we in a space where we can spoil it for
Oh,
non-attendees?
yeah, I
don't
I mean,
know.
that's.
here's
That's
what
why
I.
it's probably not going to be posted.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
what
we
I'm
can
saying.
talk
Yeah.
about.
I don't think
We're-
it's our place.
We're not going to tell you what
I'll tell
happened
you-
between the three, but what I will tell you is we did find out that it's Curtis Con. So really, Curtis.
Can you embiggen him, Jesse?
Curtis is the one. I think we're
click
all
on him.
big. We're all.
I'll
Yeah.
just shove him forward.
So Curtis won is what
I
the real
think
is
the
here.
real answer is we all won until
and-
all are one. Wait, did I just Ultra Magnus this?
Transform and roll out.
and which I need. That brings up another thing I need to talk about. But we do have a super chat real quick.
Woo!
This is from a big dub.
Wait,
$4.99.
Hey, you're supposed to just throw it at us.
It says the true Jeopardy winners shooting the shuffle. I believe that. That
yes,
is correct.
I think
So.
Mephitor foot super chat. There was a random Mephitor foot.
There you go.
I will
Um,
say, I definitely think we had a huge win
yes.
in the trivia contest.
We-
and I'll
we-
just leave it at that. For
Okay.
now.
We did, and I will also want to shout out to Curtis that he tends to find an interesting way to super chat on a live, and that's worth a look when it happens.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah.
Are you going to do one tonight?
I don't think so. I think I might put in a regular one, but you guys were talking about Autobots rolling out. There was a really cool moment where Eugene Unick, Nate Armstrong, and Emil had gathered up to show each other their own Optimus Prime customs that they had done.
Really?
They each had done a tribute of Optimus
Mhm.
Prime. And so they were like comparing and just looking at him and stuff. And then they took a picture with the three of them together holding each of their customs. So
Nice.
that was another cool little thing that I saw.
Did they pose the customs pointing at each other?
No.
That's what they missed.
That would have
the
been
golden
great,
opportunity
but no,
there.
they did not. So
So
I got
Ed-
it.
Eddie's coming in with a super chat.
Yeah.
Super
Chat $2. Great time. Thank you, Jesse, for showing my Coquin figure.
Coquine.
Figure.
cocaine.
Nope.
Cocaine
I said the
figure?
same thing.
Yeah.
You're getting
We're-
Steve all excited.
We're,
back
we're,
there.
no, it was so there's a section on the Just Shelve It table that I was doing with Mark Rivera and Brian C, where we have a chat group on Instagram called The Council, and it had a couple people's pieces from that group, including
You have a group without us?
Yeah, I'm in it, but
what do you do
apparently
on
I don't.
Instagram?
I don't read the stuff.
Did
Apparently,
you know he has a
So,
secret group?
You'd never respond to the ones I send directly to you
He
on
has
Instagram.
other groups?
He's
I'm
got
in
plenty
it.
of groups, I'm sure.
And
You picked Curtis over your childhood friend?
I didn't
and
start the
his
group.
friend?
I was brought into the group. Anyway, so there was a council section on the table,
First
and one of
2.0,
Eddie's
now secret councils.
is a Tanio.
John Caulfield,
John,
everybody.
come here.
Go pee. We don't want to stop you.
All the way from Full Bladder Stan.
Yeah.
How we doing, guys?
How's it going?
Good, yeah.
We're just going over some cool things we saw at
What was
LegionsCon.
the-
Some
What was the
impressive
favorite
stories.
thing you saw?
You.
Right up
Big
there.
Duck.
You.
Oh.
Oh, you are a good liar, man. I tell you what.
See, some people lie for people they like.
Yeah, I heard their feelings.
Oh, we got 2.0.
Yeah, we got
Ryan
Ryan here.
Gonzalez.
So was there something though that really stood out to you that you saw art wise that it was just like amazing?
It was too much. It was just overstimulation as usual.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, some of the displays in your corner there,
Mhm.
that whole block that Len starts with Len.
Yeah.
Goes on there, and that was just mind blowing.
That was great.
And
Yeah,
the-
it was. I got a little pissy because there was a big line at Emil's table, and they were kind of blocking mine. And nobody was seeing my stuff, so that was a little annoying. But, yeah.
Yeah. That I could see there was a lot of competition there on that road. You know?
Yeah, I'm sitting there telling these people his shit's sold. Like, come over here. I've got
Yeah.
stuff you can actually buy. So I don't know.
Yeah, even on our table, Rich had his stuff and I had mine.
Mhm.
Every time I saw
Who won? Oh, well, you probably want to save that for your show. Never mind.
Uh-oh.
I don't
Uh-oh,
want to
no.
ruin that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, hey!
Oh, God.
Billy Bay.
Sup, guys? How's it going?
How you
Did
doing?
anyone see those?
Pretty good.
Did anyone see those wine stoppers?
Oh, I forgot to
did.
get
My
one.
wife got one.
Yeah, I got two. One for me and one for the wife.
Wine stoppers?
The cool thing about
Yeah.
the wine stoppers is
Yeah.
you
That's-
could
Is
buy
that
a
Gerard
separate
showing
base.
us how to put in a wine stopper?
He,
No.
he taught me a lot this week.
Stop.
I
Isn't-
learned.
This
I
is
learned
not
how to
that
love
show.
again.
That's
This is.
I learned how to
PG-13,
love
you know?
again.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's not.
That's
but
why it's ghosts.
we don't.
Hey,
This isn't.
if
This
you,
isn't
if you
shooting the
learned
show
anything
after
last night,
hours.
it should be that
Do we
you
got
could only
security
interrupt
back
if you
there?
super chat.
House seal.
I missed that.
Where are you?
Anthony,
Yeah,
the
come
one
on.
time we need you.
We need you.
I'll give it them. All right.
All right.
There you go.
He meant it.
All right.
His leg's not supposed to bend that way.
Ryan
The-
Gonzalez, come on over.
If
Come on down.
anybody out there would
You're not
be
getting a
interested
seat,
in
though,
calling
2.0.
911, maybe think about it in the next 2
It's
hours.
from Offworld 2.0.
There's a $10 super chat.
From Offworld 2.0, Ryan Gonzalez.
How's it going?
How you doing,
John, come
Ryan?
take your money back.
He'll get it when he gets done peeing. Ryan, what was the standout thing art wise that you saw that you looked at and you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It just blew you away. Give us one thing. It doesn't have to be the best because you don't want to put anybody else down, but give us one thing that really stands out
in
in your
your
mind.
head when he
Yeah.
said that?
A blood vessel.
So I would have to say, like the whole con period,
Yeah, just
Yeah,
something
just-
you saw, you're like, wow, that's amazing.
the Ziri statue.
Yes.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
incredible.
I didn't get a chance to offer the second thing I thought was cool, but
Yeah.
that was it.
I was
There you
gonna
go.
lump that in with the dioramas, but then I wanted to save it because those deserve their own talk. So
Yeah, that Ziri. They,
Oh,
so
it's
for
just-
those,
Oh my
Curtis,
god.
did you set up a freaking invasion?
oh, look at that!
2.0?
The camera's that good that it got him as he was walking by.
Hey guys.
Hey, no,
Hey guys.
no,
This is great.
What's going on, guys?
Hey,
I don't think
I
the
love
There
chair-
was a guy here before. Don't worry about him. This is irrelevant. He won that diet by a fluke. It wasn't even real. Oh, hello now.
Big Ray.
I guess this is shooting the shelf after hours.
Yes,
after
it
all,
is. So for those who weren't here, they did do 2 new statues to this year.
Yep.
We had the Kurzog from last year, and they did a Oleg Thygar, and they did a Ziri, and both of them were fantastic. So
Mhm.
yeah, that one thing that was really cool, and we're kind of transitioning into the story part of this show. Yeah, as we were at intern, CJ and his wife, C. Jessam and his wife Keithlin were here, and they were actually still working on the Ziri as they came in, and so Keithlin was able. My wife went back there with her, and Keithlin was able to see them working on the soft goods for Ziri on the statue, and that's the same figure that she did for Cosmic, where she did the soft goods. So it was just kind of a surreal experience and just pretty cool. So, that just kind of kick it off with that, fun little story. So cool.
sorry, did we cut? I cut you off. I'm
No,
sorry. The
you
Ziri
didn't cut me
statue.
off.
Ziri
Well,
statue.
No, I was just saying it was absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful. All right. Well, ready to go. You out of here, Ryan?
Yeah.
All right, man. You have a good one.
Thanks for
Love you.
joining us.
Oh,
Let
hey,
anybody
hey,
else know if they
come
wanna
up,
interrupt the
over
show,
here.
Come on over.
Douglas
Yeah,
Tupper.
Douglas.
Douglas
Tupper.
Tupper.
What kind of
Flying solo
chocolate did you bring
tonight?
this
Where's
year,
your troll
Douglas?
buddy?
I brought hugs because everybody needs a hug.
Beautiful. That's nice.
Douglas Tupper transitioning from his giant chocolate bar, which was provided one of the best moments from last year's LegionsCon.
Oh, they got another chocolate bar. I just don't know what happened to it.
Well, and they threatened to use the sword on it. I don't know if that
Yeah.
happened or not. That was a cool thing. They got Paul and Jamie Sutton presented the Horseman with a real Aetherblade sword during GCon, which
That was awesome.
if you haven't watched that, you probably shouldn't be watching this.
You probably shouldn't be watching this anyway. So just throwing that out there.
It's only going to get worse from here.
Yeah.
Douglas, what's something really cool that jumped out to you art-wise, visually, whether custom artwork, whatever?
Nate Barch's Prince, which I know you had a hand in
Ooh, yeah.
stretching.
Canvas,
Yeah.
I did pick up one of those.
Ooh,
which
yeah.
one?
I picked up the tower, the four-sided tower.
Ooh,
The
nice.
castle four
Yeah,
sides.
castle, yeah.
Awesome. The heroic one.
Yeah.
But it was
Well,
one of the
No, it
the
was
big
the
ones,
9
the
by
smaller
12. Yeah.
piece. Okay, yeah. I mean, they all look gorgeous. I would
Yeah,
say.
and I picked up the print of the Monkey King.
Oh, yeah.
Nice stuff.
I'll tell you something I was impressed with. We all went to dinner tonight. We sat down and we gave Douglas the option of coming to sit with us, and he actually chose a better table. I mean, I'm saying it was a better table because it had the Swedes, Stephen Bisciotti, and I was like, if I was Douglas, I would go sit over
Matt
there.
Rodriguez.
Well, that was the downside. I
No,
wasn't
it was
gonna
it was
hate that,
it was
so.
live Matt Rodriguez, not Facebook.
Oh, that's
Matt
true.
Rodriguez.
That's true. Live
So,
Matt Rodriguez.
It
two
was-
two
was
different guys.
Full
Yeah.
complete thoughts, not
Yeah.
vague
Yes.
sentences.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
was just really impressed with Douglas that he's like, hey, I know these guys, and I used to work with Jesse and all this and that, but I should probably sit with them. But I'm gonna go sit with these cool guys, and I just respect that. So yeah, good job, Douglas. Nice work.
Thank you.
Yes.
We
And thank you for
appreciate
the
it.
hugs.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
I ate them all.
Both kinds.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Nice shirt.
okay,
I like it.
what's up, man? So what other kind of stories from the con? What kind of heartwarming stories do you guys have?
Douglas, do you have one?
Do I have one?
Well,
Yeah.
you were carrying your baby Bjorn around today, right? Or was that yesterday?
Yes, I was carrying the troll around yesterday or Saturday morning to start off with. Realized he was still a pain in the backside, even though he was on the front. But brought him out again today
Okay.
because I need to get rid of my hugs.
There you go.
There you go.
Beautiful.
I love it.
They were delicious.
Well, I mean, I know a big one that we all got to experience is, Brad and Casper being up there at GCon. And, we're not to focus too much on the toy because, like we said, we're going to do a breakdown of the line. But
We're not
that
talking about
moment of them being up there doing the reveal, you guys want to kind of talk about what you think that meant to you as far as what the Horsemen do for us as a community.
Well, I'm just gonna quote you. To get a tribute figure named after you and find out that your favorite figure has been you all along is really cool, because anyone been in the Cabal knows how much Mike loves Scapular. I mean, he's written his own in-depth story about him and everything. So that moment, just the total look of shock, Greg was smiling like an idiot last year for 3 days straight, and Mike was too. But Mike just was watching him process it, and they're like, oh yeah, and Broder, the first one, yeah, that means Brad, and to see Brad's reaction to that, was there was moments of classic, Brad, but then it the reality of it hit in. It was great.
Yeah, and then he looks at me in the front row and he's like, can you push that one over towards me? like he wanted to, now that I know it's me, I really need to look at it.
I thought you were just trying to distract him.
No, he's like, hey Curtis, come on, slide it over. So yeah, that was awesome. What was your guys' reaction to that with Michael and Brad up there?
From where I stood, I was in awe because, again, Mike. After it happened, I got to talk to Mike for a little bit in the lobby, and he's like they don't have to do this, but they do it because of how much they know we love this, and it's just one of the reasons why, as many compliments as the fans can give them, we can't give them enough compliments of how the Horsemen treat us, because they do these things that are so unexpected, and they're awesome for it. So,
Okay, I'm back. I had to
He's
go
back.
to the bathroom and have some dinner
So Greg, we're talking.
You
about,
went to the bathroom to have
Brad
dinner?
and Casper.
after dinner.
oh,
You have
okay.
a flashlight in your pocket?
Just happy to see you.
We're talking about Brad and Casper going up on stage and having those tribute reveals. So, what was your reaction to that? Just that emotion
It
that
was.
was going on up there.
I know how they felt.
Yeah.
It's a
That's what we were
breathe, breathe. Don't cry. Breathe. Obviously, Mike failed on the no cry part of it. Right. And, but it's awesome. It's awesome seeing it.
Yeah.
Again, I was there just a year ago, and it's like a shock when you're wait, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
This is really happening right now. And it's an unreal feeling, and just to see the guys going through it, it's wonderful.
I heard a couple people go up to Casper and say, we're so happy for you. You totally deserve this. And what he kept saying was, I don't really, and none of us do. Like, there's no toy line that does this. This isn't because any of us deserve these things. It's because this company is so great that they go above and beyond to do these things. It's nothing that's earned. It's a
correct. But
it's respect.
It is respect, and it's also like a little wink from the company saying, we see what you do.
There you go.
You know, it's the community that we have. Everybody that's in it is the love that we give each other. And hey,
the bunny ears.
The bunny.
I love the way you're sitting makes you look like you're still like 8 feet taller than the rest of us. And
I mean,
it's like the Lord of the Rings movies.
This is probably
where
Anthony's
camera
this is
This is
Gandalf
Anthony's favorite part of the episode right now. I know it. So.
and this is for you, buddy.
He's like, they just got to 200% power right now.
I think the views went up now.
Yeah, that's
We got
true.
a couple more when Dutch is out of the camera. That's usually how it goes down.
You are just radiating heat.
I mean, that's
You gotta cool down.
I can't help it, man. It's been a hot weekend. I've been on it. I've been going. You know, it's
You have.
but yeah, it's really awesome for the company to recognize the fans and do like small things like that bring everybody together. You know, like LegionsCon like this, where there was no problems this whole weekend. The hotel people said that you guys were phenomenal. The fan base is so polite. Everybody's so nice to the staff. I mean, that's kind of how we represent.
Yeah.
You know, when we do things like this, when we have events like this, and we show respect to everybody around, these places want us back. You know, but it's also showing how we are and the kind of people that we are. So it's awesome.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Sean, you already got yours.
Yeah, I did mine.
I'm sorry. I need to go to Dooch now, but I can't
Well,
really.
who?
I can't really go to Dooch.
You know my name.
All right. Well, we're gonna say goodbye to
Dooch is in the
Off-World
field.
member 2.0.
Oh.
And we're done.
I was waiting for that, but I was hoping the computer didn't go down with it.
They should still be able to hear you guys.
ooh, it's turbo time.
Avoiding that so
And
hard.
Sorry.
we're back.
My bad. Shit happens. I'm 6'8", size 14. What do you expect? But this guy's completely out of the thing, so you know, this is how the show really should be. This is how it really goes down.
now he can sit on
Oh
your
my gosh. Oh my
All
gosh.
right.
We got it.
You got to win.
We got it.
Guys, love you.
Love you.
Love you
Greg.
too.
You know, I actually
Off-World 2.0 member, Greg, everybody.
don't put my
Hey,
forward.
go back.
You know, after all the buildup, I really thought he'd be taller.
Dude, I mean, you're pretty tall yourself, so he's not as tall to you as he is to everyone else.
You know, I
Almost
heard a
everyone
lot of
else.
people this week say, I didn't realize that Dooch was that tall, including my wife. She's like,
Correct.
I thought he was just a little guy.
Everybody, I think, put me around probably Billy Beige height.
Yeah.
I know, like, even the first time Matt Rod, you know, he likes to doodle while he's on a show. And the first time he
Is
was
that a
on was-
metaphor or?
No, I tried
Okay.
to get him to diddle, but he just doodles.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so the first time he was on Legends of Grayskull, he like sketched out me and Sean as Masters characters, and he did the same thing. Sean was like this woo, and I was this little like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm 6'2", bro.
Well, I mean,
like,
you are Link on Offworld,
right.
Yeah.
You did it too. Yeah, you drew
Which
me.
is funny.
yeah,
Right, but that's because you were going for the link, I
right.
think,
Yes,
not necessarily the douche.
So Matt,
Yo,
what
baby.
was your impression of the whole Brad and Michael reveals?
I don't think I caught that part. So, because I was driving at that
Yeah,
time.
you told us to drive
Oh,
around.
gotcha. All right. Well, then never mind. We'll skip you.
So,
What about you guys back here? Anyone back here?
Anybody from the shelves?
Hey, what's up?
Steve-O, what did you think about the Casper and Brad reveal?
Steve-O, come on
Yeah,
down.
come on down.
Da-da-da-da-da.
The next guest on Shooting the Shelf After Hours is Steve Obey. Don't trust when he gives you an edible.
Steve-O, you are not the father.
That's good. That's good for everybody.
Ooh,
That's
good
good
one.
for everybody.
That's not true.
What was
That's
your
impossible.
reaction, Michael and Brad? They're up there. They get those tributes. What are you thinking?
I think that the room went really silent as soon as they saw their faces, and you can feel that emotion, especially from Mike, because it looked like Mike really couldn't comprehend what was happening.
Yeah.
And it was slowly settling in, because once Jeremy and Eric started asking them questions, Mike was still he was composed, but I think he was still trying to hold it. It was a beautiful thing to see that live and see that appreciation from that company. It broke me down, to be honest. I was trying to hold it in from everything else, because that was my first GCon. So I was really hyped up. I was glad to be there with everybody, and then seeing the look on their faces was worth everything, worth being there and everything. I'm really happy for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think, when they announced that it was, Amir Kaspar and kind of that it was a tribute figure, I think that was kind of a gut punch, and then they go, but by the way, he's also Scapular. And then, like Jesse said, like you find out that his favorite character has been him the whole time.
Yes.
And the only thing I could equate it to in my head would be like for Jesse, like if he found out that Thistlethorn was him, like that.
Yeah.
Like, when you have that much of an attachment to that character, and then the company like attaches you with him, like in the
I to feel that was a great thing.
Yeah, and it also made me wonder, like, what would Arnold Schwarzenegger have been like in a Viking movie? And I don't think we ever really got that. So I'm sure we'll find out over the next couple of years. Just tune in every Tuesday night to find out. So
every other.
Yeah, every other.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Steve-O. Anything else you want to call out from the show that you thought was awesome?
To be honest with you, and this isn't just lip service, two of my favorite things that I saw at the show, Jesse's
my watch just said all shucks.
It's like Steven's phone when it randomly goes off in the middle of a show.
Well,
someone else's phone.
Me and him had the same watch, and we have the same fat wrist, so that's probably
you don't need two wristbands though.
That's true.
Jesse's attack ferret, or however you call it, I thought I saw that, and then I noticed what it actually was, and I thought that was so creative. I loved it sitting there. And then your skeleton Templar, the Dark Templar that you had on your shelf and everything like that, plus the amazing Dio that you gave me. That I started reworking my shelf in my head, going, I'm putting the Vargs here, and the Queen's gonna sit here, and I'm not gonna poke holes in the styrofoam so I put my faction flags in. But yeah, you two on your two tables and everything like that, plus your wife's
soft goods.
Soft goods.
They were flying.
Sorry. But her capes were great. I had to get two of them. I'm glad you guys had a very good day. I'm glad you had a good day. Glad to see both of you and everything like that. I'm glad that you guys all got to be in the same room together.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. So I'm going to get off here and stop blabbering on. I love all of you.
You're fine.
That's what we do. That's our
Love
thing.
you.
Thanks, Steve-O.
We've got Cullen out here. Cullen, did you want to come join us for a second?
I already walked through.
Okay.
He did, but you could actually share.
Yeah,
something
we're
that maybe
$10 you can talk.
Yeah,
we're talking about
Super Chat.
Yeah,
Look at that. It just appeared.
we're talking about things that we saw that we liked from the con, or things that were kind of heartwarming moments.
Too big.
You got anything that stands out to you that you want to share with the folks?
It's the cliche answer. It's getting to hang out with everybody, getting to spend time, see people again, running around, taking pictures. Just kind of trying to capture some of those live moments, those interactions, people, squatting down at a table, checking out the layout of customs, because there's just too much to take in. No matter how many laps you do, you always see something you missed. And there is still stuff I missed. It's just such a talented community and so much awesome stuff to see.
I think I've said it a million times this weekend, but it's like you can walk around this place 10 times and every time see something brand new.
100%.
There's just, like you said, so much to take in. I did want to get your guys' thoughts on something real quick. So LeBron had a strategy this year. Did you talk to him at all about his setup?
Mm-hmm.
So
I heard him talking about it.
So his idea was, instead of like standing up your figures and having like a tier thing or whatever, to lay them all flat out on the table, and that way, all the lights shining down on the figures, and it's easier to see across the table and see these, like Kenny, you were just saying, like people crouching down and look at these things. And I will say, his table was very shoppable. Like you could, within a matter of a couple, minutes, you could see, even though he had a ton of stuff, you could see all of his figures. So the Lord just walked through. So blessings
Like,
from the
we're
Lord.
right on the way to the
Curtis
bathroom.
is Lord
so
and Savior.
The Lord's gonna go bless a potty. And
everybody thinks they're going to like the quiet bathroom
Yeah.
away from the crowd.
No.
So
This,
what
this
did
is how they get guests on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what did
You
you
have
guys
to go to the bathroom? Come talk to us first.
So what did you guys think about that strategy to lay the figures out flat rather than standing them up? Like, do you think that has merit to it, or what do you think?
I think there's definite merit to it. I think I just brain stopped.
Well, I know that he had a lot of customs. I think he had like somewhere around 50 customs, and he sold more than half of them. And full customs are not the easiest thing to sell because they're a little pricey. So I think it worked pretty well for him. So you might, I don't know, you might see, typically we're used to seeing like these elaborate dios and tiered things and mountains and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know, you might see some more people with them just laid out next year.
Yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, it does present. It's like, here it is. You're not getting the distraction like of the dial. That's why most of the stuff I had on my dial were presentery, on display.
Yeah,
and I think there's definitely something to it. They're clear. They're lined up. You see what you get. It's like seeing the Trevor's photos.
The blue ones or the gray ones?
The ones that show like the figure with all the parts. Like
I love it, Trevor.
No.
Sorry to interrupt, but just real quick while we have Cole in here before he sneaks off. I know you are a man on a mission to acquire test shots. How many test shots
hunting.
do you currently have in your collection?
I think it's around 105.
Woo!
I'm missing around 35 to 38 still.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Of
That
mythic and cosmic, or just okay.
combined.
Okay.
So
Now, were you able to acquire any new ones this
I
weekend?
was.
Oh, really? What'd you get?
I was able to score an Atlas
Oh,
and an Atamon.
Ooh, that's a couple biggies right there.
Atamon I had, but he was incomplete. He only had the bucket helmet.
Yeah.
So those were some nice pickups, and seeing those two side by side,
Yeah.
just in the grayscale was pretty cool. I'll definitely get a picture of that.
So out of the ones you're missing now, like who's your next I most wanted?
They're so obscure at this point that the one I find next.
Okay.
that's
There's no one in
not
your head that's just
obscene.
like if I could get that one next.
Not off the cuff.
Gotcha.
I mean, yeah.
So you're saying they're figura obscuras?
No.
Did you know there's a cabal for that?
There is. Very nice.
Bump set spike.
I've got those ones too. So,
Okay,
so that's
okay.
counting those. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well,
Yeah, it's
That would have been
it's
much better if I
fun
did that.
going
On
to the show and being able to find some random stuff like that though.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, there's tons of amazing customs. There's the regular stock figures. There's dios. There's torches. There's all kinds of awesome stuff. But to just find something you've been hunting for that isn't as easy to come across is always very cool.
That's very
Awesome.
true. Awesome.
Right,
Thank
it
you,
is.
Cullen.
It is. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thanks,
Colin.
Colin. Take care.
I do see over here, stage left. We got the Lord,
Curtis
Stephen
is
Bisciotti.
Lord.
Lord, you want to jump over here for a second? Hop on the shoot. No, you just stand behind us.
like the casting
I think.
Yeah.
I think he has to replace you, Curtis.
Oh, well, that's fine. I'll give up my seat.
Try it once.
How about it? Yeah, you can take my spot.
I mean,
They do call me the Stephen Bisciotti of the fake. My wife
He's
is
the
gonna kill me.
alpha version 2.
What's going on, guys?
That's you that calls yourself.
What's up?
Here we
Steve?
go.
We didn't spoil anything from your guys' show because we want to know that your audiences get a chance to do all that first.
Yeah. And
Sure.
in 2 weeks when you do it, and
Yeah.
4 weeks after that when you do an
You
audio
know,
version.
when I get time.
Yeah,
When it happens,
exactly.
in the Lord's time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're just talking about some of the cool stuff we saw. Any cool finds you got this weekend,
Or heartwarming stories.
or heartwarming stories.
I got nothing.
Beautiful.
That's on brand. That's on brand.
I've got to say though, in Steve's defense, like this weekend,
Oh,
Steve,
defender of Stephen.
you have been
yes.
the most social that you have ever been. You still don't return my texts, but you were out. You partied with us last night.
Yeah.
I don't think you remember half the shit you said to me, which is probably better for you.
True.
I will treasure it forever. But yeah, it was really great to see you out and mingling among your people.
I had fun. All seriousness, last night, yeah, I was out with everybody. Had a few partook in a few drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. I was happy to be here. We was celebrating great Saturday we had at LegionsCon. I think most people had a great time.
Absolutely.
I think so.
So yeah, there was a lot to be joyful about last night.
I think he's not answering your calls because it just comes up unknown caller.
Yeah,
Blocked. Yeah.
automatically.
What
replies
was
new
what
phone,
was
who
the
dis.
best custom you saw? Not necessarily best, but like what?
Not your own.
One that wowed you?
Yeah, just one that wowed you. You know.
It's hard to say because I truthfully did not get a lot of floor time.
Yeah, none of us really did. It
You
was
know?
just so. Yeah.
Now, I did hear something a little bit earlier. It wasn't too long ago, actually, from Noah Pratt. He said that you came over and looked at his work, and you told him that you don't like him anymore. So is that true?
Yeah, he's really starting to piss me off.
He's staying in his lane, though, right?
I mean, he's staying in his lane. That's the problem. I mean, he has been painting things, dios and things for as long as I've been coming to LegionsCon, but his rapid growth of success his paintwork is just damn good. It pisses me the hell off. And it's hard to I like to come to these shows and do my thing, get the accolade and everything else, and it's like, you know what, dude, just calm down.
Right. Yeah, well, stop progressing. Just stay where you are and know your place.
Yeah, because now I got to go back home and I got to rethink how I'm doing.
Right, you got to step in, and that's more work for you. And you're a busy man. You're an important man.
Well, I figure your drive home will be like a chrysalis moment for you. So you'll evolve by the time you get home, and the next custom you put out is just going to literally drip gold.
Agreed.
Platinum.
Yeah.
Whatever expensive metals
it's gonna be great. Yeah. It's going to be fantastic.
Now, do you get to drive home with the Swedes, or are they leaving from here?
Swedes are flying right out of.
Okay.
That would be ridiculous Newark. To fly to Newark.
It's ridiculous to fly to New York, fly to Michigan, drive to Jersey.
Well, it is, but then to do it in reverse
No, they're flying out tomorrow. Me and Matt Rod will be out. I'm hoping 5-6 a.m.
Yeah,
just to get home.
So it'll just be you and Matt Rod in the car.
It will be just like last year. So
is that going to be like 13 hours of just Armies of Ashmore talk, basically strategizing?
Well, no, they gotta discuss Waterworld and Kevin Costner's Renaissance.
That's not Matt's style. Yeah. We don't talk about his stuff because his stuff is done by him.
Yeah.
What he likes to do is find my stuff. He like last year. I read him God's Fire BIOS because that's what he wanted.
Sure.
And then he told me how he would have done it.
Right. That's completely on brand.
That sounds about right.
I don't know if you caught the Legends of Grayskull interview with Matt this weekend. I don't know if you noticed, but one of our members of Offworld here got his own dino named after him.
Well, it's
Sean Scavarna. Well, yeah, it is a turtle, but what are your thoughts
What's
on
the
that,
name?
Steven?
He's still working on it, but we're leaning towards one over the
because I'm aware.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And there are two choices for the name.
Yes.
And there's one that I have a vote in on.
I will say that everybody.
It was one that I'll go out on a limb and say I came up with, whether he says it was me or not. And I'm curious which one he decided.
So
I don't know if I should say it. I don't know if I should.
Well,
say
he asked
I will
me, and I
say
wouldn't say it because I thought he would take the opposite.
According to the live stream we did, where he presented the two options, the clear winner, because literally everybody on that video commented the same thing.
One of them I hate
was Scavar. So
okay, now that would be a different pronunciation of what I said.
Okay,
I put forth Scavar.
Okay,
ooh, that works.
Yeah,
I'm completely cool with that as well.
Yeah.
That works.
Because Scavar.
Yeah.
Makes more sense, and it sounds lethal.
Scavar has this kind of blade kind of vibe.
And what is his weapon?
He has two butterfly blades in a sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Then he also threw out a lame option, which was backwards, and it didn't sound very cool. So,
well, I agree, and that there was another option that I'm not a fan of, but hey, he's the boss.
Right.
And ironically, when he threw them both at me, I actually thought of the backwards option only because I was thinking I shouldn't even get this figure named after me. So I would be happy if he named it the opposite version. But then everybody in the live chat was saying Skavar, as you're saying. And I said I'll side with them for the fact that he has done tribute figures in the previous wave, and that's the way he was doing them as well. So stick with the plan. Stick with that.
Yep.
So another thing that I would ask you, Stephen, while we've got you here, there's been a lot of tributes in Matt's line. A lot of people getting dinos named after him.
Yeah.
And one of them was Michael Casper. We were talking about a little bit ago. And he had the dino named after him, but you had a tribute from the Four Horsemen, which arguably could be said is a little bit better. But now he's got both. And you're actually working on the line with Matt, right?
Doing some paint work for Matt, for sure.
So I guess my question is, like, how do you feel about all that?
Matt hurts the ones he loves. That's how it's his love language. He's the kind of guy that he makes you want to please him by just not giving you what you think you might deserve or wish that it's like that father you wish recognized you.
Yeah.
And so you try that much harder. And that's, I think, the approach Matt's taken. So, hey, if he wants to give out names to everybody he casually bumped into in a line to get a signature from
And
me,
Sean.
then that's fine. That's fine if that's how he wants to play it. I'm just thankful I get to have my contributions to the line in the work that I do.
Would you really want to be any of those herbivores?
Matt says that they all eat meat.
Yeah.
Well, just because Matt says it doesn't mean it's true.
It's his world.
Okay, the dinosaurs they're based on were mostly herbivores.
They are.
Yes. Brontosaurus,
Yep.
Stegosaurus.
Yes. I'm not disputing the dinosaurs.
Triceratops. I mean,
I'm disputing that Ashmorians are herbivores.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm wrong. All right.
Nerd.
I love that we're arguing about what a mythical toy creature that doesn't even exist yet.
If people are going to go toe to toe about who would win, Superman or Hulk,
If we're not gonna discuss this, then why are we even here?
Yeah.
I don't know why we're here, to be honest. I think because
I'm
my
in
wife
danger.
was going to kill me. Didn't go live today, so they needed something. They needed the trailer park version of My Wife Is Going to Kill Me. So,
I like it.
it's such a huge thing.
The trailer park version, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought. Wait, that's us.
Is that an upgrade or downgrade from the Wish version?
I don't know.
I think it's technically
I was
the
just
same
repeating
thing.
the line you used earlier. So,
Is it?
yep,
I'm brilliant.
you are smart. All right.
Well,
Thank you, Stephen. We
Thanks.
really
Yeah.
appreciate you.
yeah. Thanks for letting me take over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Curtis his seat back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Well,
you guys-
I actually just saw Carver Customs walking through. You guys got a minute? You want to come hang out with us for a second?
Go first. We'll
Come
be
on
there.
back. When you come back.
Yeah, go do what you got to do. Come on back.
There's also exits to the parking lot
They will be
right down
back.
this hallway,
So
so
now-
it's not just people.
No,
going to
they're,
You've got
they're
me.
heading into the bathroom. That's what they're doing.
No, they're not. They're walking
No,
clearly
they
walking
kept
past.
going.
the
They're going to come back.
Okay.
Let me check the chat while you guys discuss.
Are
Are we supposed
Chris
to
James
discuss-
walking by, legend of the show.
There he is. Are we supposed to discuss Curtis checking the chat? Like, oh, look how
No, you guys can
look
dis-
how wonderfully he's scrolling.
You guys can talk about whatever.
Oh, look at
you
those
want.
biceps
So-
flexes.
So
and taps.
let's dive into this. So we'll get into some of the heartfelt stories because I think all four of us have a pretty awesome story that happened to us this weekend.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll just go because basically they took mine by going into the armies of Ashmore. But I would like to say, obviously Matt Rod reached out to me, gave my opinion as well, and we've been setting this up for probably about a month here. So I've been doing like little interviews during the day. Those will be uploaded to the Off-World channel throughout the coming weeks, and so I just been doing that as people went by the booth. We talked to them a little bit and stuff. And I told Sean after close on Saturday that we needed to go over. Matt wanted help live streaming his reveal.
Yeah.
So we get over there, Sean's kind of talking or whatever, and so I'm
Well-
knowing what's going on. I'm trying to get like herding cattle, like, hey, come on, we got it. And he said, yeah. So we get over there, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just run the computer. You get on screen with Matt, and you guys just do your thing. And of course, Sean is, well, you're the interview guy. You know, he's trying to get me to go on, and I'm like, no, I'm like, don't worry, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then, so just being able to, number one, it was hard as hell to keep it from him. But then being able to live stream it and be there and see his face as the realization dawns on him was just a great moment to be a part of. So
is that your story, or are you just capping off Sean's story?
a little bit of both. You wanted a heartwarming moment, like just
Something that he observed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's good.
right.
So before we get the Carve Our Customs crew in here, Sean, you want to talk a little bit about that review, how it went for you? Because we don't know what the figure. I mean, if you watched their interview,
If you go on the Defenders of Eden Facebook page, you will the live videos there. You can actually see the moment Sean's realization. It's very.
Can we say what it is?
And it's also on the Off-World one as well.
Go ahead.
We did the live. So basically, the figure, it's got the same buck as the other Armies of Ashmore figures, but the head is like a prehistoric turtle head.
Yep.
And then on top of that, it has a band around it with like goggles, and it has also like a little like turtle tail, which I commented. I love the fact that there's this little turtle tail with like spikes on it coming out of it. But I even made the comment, this would make a really great TMNT custom.
Yep.
And you could have like these huge like Armies of Ashmore versions of the Ninja Turtles, and all you gotta do is just paint their bandanas, and then that's when next thing I know, well, guess what name will be? And then he's going through his phone and he's trying to find the chat. Where is the name that he needs? And then he named it. And when he got to Skavar, I just sat there like, what? Like no, like that's not the name. It's Leonardo. It's Leonardo or something, you know. And so yeah, I don't know. Like my wife. Here's the mind-blowing part. My wife knows how much I've been doing collecting since our son was born, because that was my go-to to be happier and have like I love my son, I love my kids, but this was my way of going. I needed an outlet to make me feel a little less overwhelmed at times with how things are going. So she's known about this. She sees what comes in and all this. And it is the first time I messaged her about something toy related, and she goes, "I'm proud of you."
Yeah.
And I read that and I go, now you're proud of me. Thank you, Matt, and thank you everybody who kept it from me.
Yes.
Because that was my only too. Because I talked to Ben Talmadge this morning, and Ben goes, "Oh yeah, I've known about it from." I'm like, how many people knew this? It was it was mind blowing.
Don't bang the table; it makes Curtis angry. So
I'm very sorry, Curtis.
No, you're fine. That's awesome. That's cool. I do think that having turtle customs of those will be phenomenal. I'm sure there's some artist, I don't know, maybe in the vicinity, that could turn those Dino Turtles into Ninja Turtles. Yep. We'll see if maybe we can come up with that. But yeah, great honor, Sean, and that's awesome. Do want to bring the team over here from Carver Customs. Welcome to the table.
Everybody's getting up.
Have a seat.
Oh, okay.
So we've kind of been talking about just kind of things that we saw throughout the con that really amazed us, art wise, and then heartwarming moments that you've kind of observed throughout. So you guys got any of those that you want to share with the folks here watching?
I didn't even get to walk around. I don't even think I saw everyone's table. But the tables I did see were amazing. I just love being able to be with everyone, actually meet people, meet you, Curtis, for the first time.
Yeah.
Jesse, I met you last year.
Yep.
But it's so much fun just being with everybody and hanging out and talking toys. And
it was great seeing everybody kind of doing things teams. Like for instance, this was first year with your wife, and your son was here to enjoy it with you, and seeing your wife bringing stuff this year was awesome. Missed out on the capes, so hopefully next time around. I was late to the party on that one, but yeah, those were great capes. And then Jesse, you had a whole crew with you this year. Last year was just you by yourself.
Yeah, I had those guys stuff on my table last year, and they got to both be here full time this year. So
it was great seeing everybody. Like for instance, Arthas from last year. Like I even told him this. It was great seeing him walk around to everybody's table and just drinking everything in, and how excited he was just seeing everything. And then this year, like Curtis was scoping his table weeks before the show, and then like as setups happening, I see Curtis sneaking along the wall trying to peek at what he's putting out, and it's like Arthas is amazing.
So
like,
did you get something?
Like,
I got several things. So
right,
yeah.
I'm about to say if you didn't find something the way you were sneaking around his table.
I talked to him about setting up a subscription next year where like VIPs can go to his table first and get first access to his stuff. So we'll see. More to come on that.
Arthas or premium membership.
Yeah, exactly. And I mentioned earlier here on the chat, but I really appreciate you guys, working on that custom flame for that gift that my wife and I were working on for Len. Turned out amazing. And just when folks out there, if you're listening to this, when you think of flames, you think of lights. Right here. This team is where it happens. So, if you don't see it currently available, reach out to them and talk to them because they can work some wonders. So I really appreciate that. I know Len loved that gift, and we could have put it out without that, but that really made it, and it kind of brought that thing to life. So I really appreciate that, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for letting us work on it, man. It's great.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you joining us here, and we hope you have a good rest of the weekend.
We watch every Sunday.
Beautiful.
Right. And then I fall asleep.
We do it live, and then I fall asleep.
Well, with that, I know somebody was asking where Sig was at, and he was here, but he is not here. So we'll see if he goes by earlier or later. But we do have an artist here that we'd like to bring up. Very talented. Probably the one that I was mentioning when it comes to the Dino Turtles.
Absolutely.
Eric Miller.
Woo!
Have a seat, sir.
Come on in, buddy.
What's up, guys?
Go ahead. You're good. So, Eric, kind of same thing we were talking about with Carver Customs there. Just really discussing things that we saw that amazed us this weekend or any kind of heartwarming stories. Really trying to dig it into the people that didn't make it to LegionsCon and just rub it into them and make sure that they feel like I definitely need to get there next year because I don't want Curtis rubbing it in. So with that in mind, anything that you saw that you'd like to share with the folks out there?
For sure. Yeah, Brian was talking about Arthas's stuff, and that guy's incredible. I don't know where he comes up with his ideas. They're absolutely amazing. When it comes to heartwarming stories, I definitely have one. I've got a few actually, but main one is a good friend of mine, Jonathan, Hedgehog Action, most people know him by.
Right.
Came up to my booth shortly after the rush, the first morning, and gave me a custom that he had made of me, which was just the coolest thing that's ever happened to me, I think. And it means a lot to me that the work that I do could affect anyone in a way where they'd ever return the favor by doing something like that. So that was really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and also I brought my kids with me as well as my wife this year, and they have never shown any interest in any toys ever. My son's 10, my daughter's 9, but they were hanging out with Walter Jr. and he had a Plunderling.
Yeah,
and they immediately were like, "You got to take me to the Plunderlings booth." So we took them there. They each got a Plunderling, and they haven't put them down the whole time we've been here. So it's really cool that they're.
We saw a lot more families this year, which I thought was really cool. I know, I was an intern, and my son was there, and he was actually, he was one of the intern winners, and so he got the bus to paint. And him and Walter Jr. were actually painting it together. Like they were doing it in turns. Like one would be working on the torso while the other one worked on the head, or vice versa. And yeah, like you said, there was a lot more, I think, wives and kids and things like that in here. And it was just, you saw a lot of them, even if they're not necessarily into this hobby,
Yeah.
really enjoyed themselves and appreciated that the Four Horsemen opened their doors at intern for all these folks, and then everything that they do here. The amount of just amazing people that are just sharing these experiences and their artwork. It was just really cool. So I hope we see more of that next year.
Oh, for
Sure.
Yeah.
We actually had a few people come up to me and say that it was cool that we brought our kids, and so you got to let me know if you're going to bring them next year, because if you do, I'll bring mine.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome, man. Let's make it a thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And I wanted to ask you about the painting breakout session, because I don't know what your attendance looked like for that. I know on the Pop and Swap one, we saw a lot of families there too, like you know, kids and moms and dads and everything, like had figures and they're popping them apart and playing around and having a good time. How was the painting session that you guys did? Did you have kind of a mix of folks like that?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there definitely were some people in the room that I probably wouldn't have expected to be in there, but they were all, we filled the room pretty much. I'd say I didn't count, but there was probably 30 or 40 people in there.
Packed in there when I walked by.
And everyone was asking very insightful questions and, like listening intently for our answers. And I saw some people, I mean, it was a 50-minute hands-on session on advanced painting, which is not an easy task, but there were quite a few people around that table that were producing some paintwork that was really, really awesome. And some people saying like, I didn't know I could paint this, but I just did, and it was only a 50-minute session. So, I mean, like everyone was doing it really quick.
I didn't challenge everybody.
And
he is standing. Just FYI.
He is on a cardboard box right now.
Yeah, that's really cool. I saw some folks that actually went through both sessions, the beginner and the expert session. Some people that did the Pop and Swap yesterday and then went into the painting. So, I don't know. It's really cool that, this isn't just, the artist out here showing things to people that can't do art. That's not what this is. Like everybody can be an artist. Everybody can do this stuff. And so the fact that we've really over the last year or so incorporated that aspect of giving people that first little nudge, to start doing this would be great. I know, Ben, you were at the Pop and Swap last year, correct?
Yeah.
And then did you come back this year to...
So I missed it because I'm a dumbass. I completely missed it. Old Man Kyle came back though.
Yep.
But yeah, so for me, I never got into the customizing aspect prior, and last year it just kind of opened it up. I think it was Jesse that helped me out with at least part of it, and then I think Len pointed a couple of other things out to me. But it was just really cool to kind of start thinking more creatively with my stuff, which up until now had just been static.
Yeah, I mean, these things are modular. They're made to be popped apart. And then, you kind of get these things in folks' hands and start letting them do that stuff. And it becomes a form of play, Popping them apart is play. Painting them is play. So just getting people started on that creative track, I think was really cool. So, well, that's awesome, Eric. I'm glad that you guys had a good session with that. And now everybody's experts, right? Everybody that went through there?
Every single person.
Yeah, one 50-minute session, and they're good.
Damn it.
Okay.
It just unlocked.
I'm sad I missed it.
One last question for you, Eric.
Yeah.
While you were doing that expert session, did Stephen Bisciotti sneak in there to kind of get any tips and tricks, or?
I didn't notice him, but there could have been spies.
Okay.
Could have been proxies.
Somehow I think you would have a hard time missing him, but I don't know. But okay. Unless he came in with a wig on or something. he had a Meals wig.
Took his glasses off.
There was a bearded woman in there.
There you go.
That makes so much sense now.
All right. Well, we appreciate you stopping by with
Thanks,
us,
guys.
Eric. It was great seeing you this week, and can't wait to see you again next year, man.
I'll be here.
Beautiful.
We'll see you guys.
Ben, you want to join us for a little bit?
Why not?
Have a
Come
sit,
on
man.
in.
When in Rome.
Yeah.
Love it.
we're just kind of discussing, stuff we saw.
No, go ahead and sit down, man.
Heartwarming moments, anything like that really would, twist the knife on these folks that didn't make it here. So anything that you can rub it in to them that they missed.
Oh my God.
Horrible.
That's what I do, man.
The dealer room, and I haven't been here since the beginning of the podcast, so I don't know what's been said, what hasn't been said. But if I can echo anything, it's the talent level, and the artistry that was here this year. It was just like on another level. Everybody that was already kind of a master at their craft upped their game, and then everybody's chasing them, and so it's just really cool. It's everybody's so kind to each other and encouraging, for me it's like an art gallery, just walking around and just admiring all of the just really imaginative, creative things.
Beautiful. And you hit a good point there. Like, it's not a competition. Like, I saw when I was walking around, there'd be tables where a guy would come up and they're like, "Hey, do you have this part, this head?" And they're like, "No, I sold it, but I'm pretty sure, so-and-so over in that aisle has it." Yep. Or they're calling other vendors that they know, like, "Hey, do you have this?" Like, a lot of toys. And now there are some toy shows where you got guys that do get along like that, but there are definitely some where they're like, "Oh no, that the guy across from you is the enemy."
Well, and people are here to make sales, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Here it's just like, I want you to get what you're looking for. And that's just a really nice dynamic and a really good feeling.
I know we've talked about, like, when you're running your own table, it's very difficult to get around and see other things.
Yep.
But when you do have those moments to go to somebody's table, what you see is a lot of, like, artists talking to other artists and going, "Man, I love your work on what you did here. Like, how did you accomplish this technique? How did you, do this?" And there's a lot of sharing of information. It's not like, "No, that's my trick, and I'm not going to tell you because then you're going to sell stuff instead of me." There is a lot of sharing of knowledge. So, we talk about it a lot. It's part toy show, part art exhibit, part family reunion. Yep. And we really mean that, with the exception of, we like these people. So
Pete and I were saying earlier today that it's like we feel so fortunate, especially in our little Michigan pocket of people.
Michiganders.
We feel so fortunate to have that group of like-minded kind of collectors. And even though we all have our own specialties and focuses, and but we noted it's like, you pull out the toys and we still like each other at the end of the day, and we would still be hanging out even if it were not for the toys. So this is just gravy on top. Like, it's just it's so much fun.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
You
Anybody
guys
else?
start your long trek back tomorrow?
Yep. We're hoping to be ass in seat 7 a.m. So
You riding with Kyle?
No, the
really?
old man is flying this year.
Yeah.
So the current party consists of Pete, Jeremy, myself, Nate Strong, and our buddy Mike Smith.
Nice.
So you got 5 in that one, and then Rodriguez and Steven are alone.
Yes. So
that doesn't sound like an equal.
You're in the right car.
We may balance that out, but we'll see.
Okay.
I can hear that. Was that Tiffany song or whatever? Like, I think we're alone now.
Yeah.
Well, any other questions for Ben, guys?
You coming back next year?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us, Ben. We look forward to seeing you again next year, or up in Michigan when we come up for
When you come up from GCon, you gotta.
And
Maybe
look
we can
for
get an off-world reunion at GCon.
Yep, and look forward to on the floor interview with Ben coming to the Off-World channel next week. So.
Oh, we did do that, didn't we?
Yeah. I know it's been a blur.
Well, thank you, Ben. We really appreciate it.
You bet.
Now we've got a special treat for you guys. We have got.
Wait, hang on. You got to give him a sobriety test.
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering.
Before you allow him.
He's good today.
He just gave us this, which I'm really excited for because I know what that means in England, and I've never had it happen to me in America. Yeah. I feel legit now.
Here is the sexiest voice. The sexiest voice on any podcast. Malcolm, have a seat.
Oh,
sir. Why don't you join us?
This is the mic I use.
That's the
Yes.
mic. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, just
That's the one you
just
use.
talk like normal.
Yeah.
See, so you know it's legit.
Yeah,
There you go.
How you doing today, Mal?
I am all right.
Yeah.
I was struggling until about 2:00, and then
Yeah.
I was ready to drink again.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
So we've been just kind of sharing stories, things that we saw that were amazing, you know, like different artwork and stuff, heartwarming stories, that kind of thing. Anything that really jumps out at you that, you know, that you'd like to share with the folks that weren't able to make it this year to make them really excited about being here next year?
Oh God, I'm not good at this. It's just awesome. Everything's awesome, isn't it? I mean, there's no weaker or stronger point. I guess the My Wife show was awesome last night.
The My Wife show was pretty good.
There's some stuff said there that you have to be here to hear.
Yes. Yes.
Stay tuned for that. Probably coming in early 2024.
Audio in 2025.
And then it's seeing the people as it was before I came. That was what I wanted to do, and now I'm here. That's the best bit of it, is seeing like you guys.
Yeah.
And Steve are in the back there, and
not to steal Curtis's thunder because he's been directing these for the most part, but I want to jump in to say, last year you came as an attendee.
Yes.
This year you came as an exhibitor.
Yes.
And not only that, in that year, you and John and Rich now have joined your forces like Voltron to become one of the staple podcasts of the Legions community by being the Euro Legions podcast, which now you guys have a lot of visibility in just 1 year, not to mention the fact that you were recognized to even show some of the reveals from GCon and stuff. So
that was good too.
In literally 1 year, you went from, hey, I'm out in the lobby and I'm just here and I'm happy to be here, to now you are one of the big names here. This is pretty
you're
cool.
the face that runs the place.
And you are the
tripod
voice
of Europe.
Yes. And I mean, you're one of the.
I'm the little leg on the tripod.
and you
This
even
is the
got
most
to
fluffing I've seen.
you even got to read one of the bios because your voice is like the velvet voice of England. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool. It's nice, isn't it? It's very nice how people have sort of embraced us and treated us far better than we probably deserve in terms of praise, and and it was very, very nice when Jeremy had sort of got in touch and said, I want you guys to come up and read. Are you okay with doing that? It's like, shit, yeah, the reading thing, it sort of seems to have taken off, and it's again nice. Keep using the word nice, but it's very, very nice that everyone seems to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'll keep doing it.
We're looking forward to you reading the audio
that
Jeremy's writing.
Keeps been said. That'll be a lot of reading.
Yeah. Well, and you got to do a little special after GCon with the Legions Lounge guys.
We did, yes.
Yeah, you guys got what, like 7 men in one bedroom with unmade beds.
It was pretty sexual.
Yeah, I can see that.
This is still shooting the shelf. It's not that much accurate.
We'll leave it at that. That's okay. That's
Walmart's
okay.
still open.
There was a lot of holding
it was
microphones.
I watched it, and it was a good kind of recap of GCon. A little disappointed that I wasn't there.
Your viewership went into double
know.
digits when he said sexual. I was just going to say that.
I blame Trevor. He did a very bad job of promoting it. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I would.
Okay.
But next time.
Oh,
you'll be in there.
Yeah,
You'll be in there.
definitely, because me and you, we're buds now.
We are.
We're partners. We're partners. Anything else you guys got for Mal?
He is a very friendly man.
He is.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you
Last
next
night.
year.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You have to be back next year along with the guys.
I plan to be back next year.
Just throw this out there to you folks that missed this year. He got groped by a pig. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give any more. If you want to know, you got to be here next year to see. But he got groped by a pig. So
turns out there's a lot I don't remember from last night.
Oh yes.
Anyway.
Well,
don't worry, we'll send you videos.
And we have photos, so don't worry about it. About revelation.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to leave.
Thanks for joining.
Does not stay.
Go see Cullen.
Not even.
Hey, honestly, sitting here with all these guys just coming and going
and ladies.
Yeah, guys, ladies, all the everything. But really, that's the LegionsCon experience right there. I mean, I couldn't walk 5 feet in there without somebody, wanting to talk or show something or like.
Yeah, I mean,
that
stopping
is
people
the
while
night.
they have to pee and making them talk is really the LegionsCon experience.
Exactly. It is.
So next year, Jeremy's motto needs to be, don't make someone else piss themselves.
Yes.
Right.
Speaking of Jeremy, I do have a little heartwarming message or story that I'd like to share with you guys. I already talked to Jesse about this, but Jeremy has this. No, this is
London.
This is
London?
London. Irons.
Gerard, the director of sales and marketing.
Rhode Island,
from Rhode Island, Maine,
good
yes.
friend. I love Jeremy. He has this tribute figure, Disney character, Princess of the Frogs, and he uses a Hera figure, which is one of my favorite figures, anyways. And then he's got kind of this voodoo face paint on her, and has some parts from some other toy line figures and stuff. And it's one of his favorite customs. Actually, it is my favorite custom of his that he's ever done. And I've been trying to buy it from him for like 2 years. And he constantly says he's not going to sell it. It's just too important to him and his collection. It's something that he needs to keep. He decided he was going to bring her to LegionsCon this year, which was a surprise to me because I've never seen her in person. I've only seen pictures. And when I heard that, I was talking with you guys on the Euro Legions podcast, and I told them I'm going to make him an offer on there that he can't refuse.
Yep.
So this LegionsCon comes, he's setting up Friday night, and I see her. I see the Princess of the Frogs, and I'm just in awe. And I'm just like doing like Cullen was saying, I'm crouching down and I'm just looking at this thing and taking it all in. Just a beautiful figure. And Jeremy looks over at me and he goes, "You still going to try to make an offer on it?" I said, "Absolutely." I said, "Are you ready to hear an offer?" He said, "Yeah." It's okay. I said, I'm thinking $400. And Jeremy looks at me, he goes, "I'm not going to sell her to you for $400. I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "And I'll tell you why." He goes, "I'm going to sell her to you for $200. I'm like, "No, I wouldn't feel right buying it for $200 because I know how important it is." Like, he's like, "Let me finish." I'm like, "Okay." He goes, "I'm going to sell it to you for $200 because this is not my Princess of the Frogs. I went and got the parts and I made a second one for you that I'm going to sell to you for $200.
Yeah.
And now keep in mind, I mean, this has been a busy year. They've had Figure Obscura releases. They've had Cosmic. They've had All-Stars. They've had Mythic. This guy is at the center of all of this and writing bios and writing a book and all this kind of stuff. And during all of that, he chases down an older figure, older toys with parts that he needed to make this custom, and put it together to sell me because he knew how important that I wanted that. And that to me is the LegionsCon experience. It's like people going above and beyond for others. It's just amazing. Like to me, that was as good as, getting a tribute figure or getting a this and like it's all just this love that's around this area. So
agreed.
What about you?
I've got two. Can I share two?
Sure, go ahead.
So
do 3.
Do 5.
7.
So the first one is kind of the build up to LegionsCon. If anyone who was here last year knows, I got sick and kind of like crashed. I hadn't eaten properly, didn't drink enough water, all that stuff. Yes, I'm drinking a soda now. I've drunk lots of water.
Don't worry, we've kept an eye on them.
Yes.
Many bathroom trips.
May or not have been waterboarded at one point. No.
You wanted that.
So people were making sure, like, I got stopped by a couple of people that are like, "Hey, are you doing okay? Make sure you take care of yourself," while we were here. But leading up to the show, I was getting a little panicked because the vehicle I was going to bring, it didn't work out. I was going to bring a big van, and immediately Curtis is like, "We're going to pass through your way to get there. We'll see if we can fit it in the car." And I was like, no, if it's not going to fit in your car, I'm not going to finish it. He's like, well, like, give me till Monday. And I'm like, I got this weekend to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And then Dooch comes on and he's like, I'm coming through the same way. It's just me and my suitcase in our minivan. I can get it. I was like, check the measurements first, and he got back. So the fact that
this dude actually made me measure the opening of a minivan because he wouldn't. That was the only way I could assure him I could get it in.
To be fair,
he should know I can always get it.
To be fair.
Another Dio today got in a car.
That's a Beamer. I don't need
but I didn't know it was going in a Beamer until yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
but anyhow,
so that's why I check.
love you, Jesse. I love your idiocy.
So my point is, not only did these guys come together, but there was problems with my debit card. I left in the ATM machine on the way here, and I got helped out with that, and just people being here to support and all that, and just the unbelievable community. Like, had some awesome conversations with Steve-O over the weekend, and lots of other people. Just the fact that. Everybody says cabal above all, and sometimes you don't see the best of the best in the cabal, and I'm not trying to put that down, but the best things don't always get talked about. They're not. If you're doing something for a big show, you're not doing it for the right reason. And I just think all these little things that people do to help each other out, there's lots of little moments of heart touching things of just. Someone needed a chair. Someone got a chair for him. So lots of people checking. You need some water. You need a snack. All these different things. Not me, but just other people around the convention has just been really cool. How we get loud in the lobby, but the hotel staff has been really appreciative and like they're excited to have us back next year. And just all those different things. So just everybody coming together to help each other out. There was
just so you know, Danny says. But it fits in the BMW, and he laughed.
They got it to fit. Yes, they got it to fit. They had to take a little bit of a part to fit in, but it's that kind of thing. Is measure 75 times, get it in once.
Yes.
But the other thing is again, yes, just getting to be around with these guys the whole time. So. Saturday morning, Curtis and I are talking about there was a figure of mine he liked the colors on, and we worked out a thing where I was like, I'll give you the body. I just need these parts. And it was all cool. And he's like, well, I got a Christmas present for you. Do you want it now or later? I was like, what do you want to do? He's like, I don't want to wait. I was like, okay.
He was chomping at
on
this one.
I
saw it.
I would have actually waited until Christmas if he had done that.
Because you are that guy.
Yeah, I was gonna give it to him at Christmas time, but I had to take the opportunity while we were here in person to see his reaction firsthand.
Yeah, no, that's my messed up mind. If you had said, "Here's your Christmas present. Do you want it now or open it now or wait till Christmas?" I would have waited. But that's just.
So, first thing I get here Thursday night, first thing he hands me these, he's like, I got some stuff for you. Like as soon as we got here, I'm like, man, I just want to check into the hotel. I don't want to carry anything around. And he brings down these boxes. I'm like, what is this? And it's a cool print. And then I pull out a comic and I see that it's like a graded comic. Is this some sort of Gambit thing? And he's like, I'm not going to get you a Gambit comic. Awesome. I pulled it out, and it's the first issue of Rogue joining the X-Men.
Nice.
And that was awesome. And that wasn't the Christmas present. The Saturday morning, so he hands me this little bag, and it just looks like a one of those plastic mailer bags.
It was like an Amazon bag.
It's like all crinkled up, and I was like, what is this? Because it didn't feel very big. And I'm like, what in the world is this? And I reach in and I can feel it's a figure. Yeah. I was like, is this some sort of Gambit figure? Because that's my default thing.
Yeah, he thinks that everything I do is Gambit.
You are really obsessed with Gambit, Jesse.
Well, it's just him. It's
way.
It's this. You all right, buddy? Mm-hmm. You're not even talking right now.
I'm choked up for you.
Oh, okay. And then I slide this thing out and I see like a bag. And I see it's dark gray, and I'm like, "What is this?" And it kind of felt like Mike up on stage processing, and I'm like, it took me. It felt like 5 minutes to realize what I was looking at.
Well, and you were looking at it, the backside of it. So you're looking at the backside.
Is that what it was? Because I just wanted.
He eventually had to flip it around. I'm like, turn it around.
And I gotta say, the lights in that room were freaking weird.
Yeah,
like I feel like. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old and things are starting to fail me, but like I feel like everything in there was like half blurry all the time. And I realized it's a freaking Thistlethorn test shot, which is the only test shot I have wanted. And I know it's been super hard to find. And he's like, yeah, I've been looking for it for a year since, you know, you asked me to be on the show. And he's like, he talked to all the
usual suspects.
Suspects.
Yeah,
not knowing I had already talked to these guys.
Yeah, the Rod Martins,
you know,
the Cullen
and,
Culps,
and you know, they were like, oh, you know, if anything comes up, we'll let you know. And then he walks over to, of course,
Travis Bowles'
table. He's like, yeah, I think I got one.
I asked him specifically. I said, because the other thing was I told you I wanted to try to find a regular Thistlethorn for myself here.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first question I asked Travis, I said, do you have Thistlethorn? And he goes, just a test shot. And I'm like, this is the one guy I didn't think to ask for a test shot. Yep. And I'm like, okay, here we go.
Oh, wow. See, and that's the thing. I knew you were looking for a Thistlethorn. So for you to hand me the test shot was like, what?
Yeah. So that's how that I was like, because I wouldn't have thought, like, Travis doesn't, like, I know he buys stuff typically to resell it, but I don't think of him as a test shot guy.
Not generally.
So he's not the guy that I would, but yeah, it worked out. It was awesome. And just seeing your reaction was awesome. It was priceless. So I'm going to look at some comments here. I know we're dual streaming right now. If you're on, because we can't, the computer's got to be far enough away so that it can catch all of us on camera so you can see all this beauty. So I am reading the comments from the Shooting the Shelf chat. So if you're in the off-world chat and you're making comments, I'm probably not going to be able to read it. So that's why we're kind of missing some of them. So if you want to pop over to Shooting the Shelf, I'll be able to read your comments. So let's see. Papa Schmitty says, just joining in. What were your favorite pickups? We will continue talking about some of that. One of mine was definitely that one from Jeremy Gerard. We do have Pete McCarthy
Ladies
here
and gentlemen
with us right now.
Pete McCarthy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Pete.
How are we doing?
We're doing
good.
excellent.
Good. I'm glad.
We've
Good
had
episode so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we've been having a good talk with folks, specifically targeting folks that didn't make it this year and trying to tell them why they need to make it here next year. So talking about things that we saw that were really awesome, you know, just art and stuff, or heartwarming stories. So you got anything to really dig it into these folks that didn't make it to make them, you know, want to come next year?
To be completely honest with you, as much as I would normally do that within the confines of my own arena, being a guest on your arena, because I was invited to just randomly walk up just now, the bathroom. It's very easy. It's very easy for us to say, how can you miss this? Well, we all know exactly how you can miss this. You know what I mean? I can totally sympathize. And I've told more than one person this weekend. Last year, I think I bought 14 full body customs last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I bought, you know, this year I didn't buy any. Well, because my daughter got married 3 weeks ago, you know, so everybody's situation obviously is so different. And there's so much that we need to spend our money on. Not being able to get here is totally understandable. Now, I will tell you that if you are a Legions fan and you like what the Horsemen do, and you're interested in GCon, or you're liking what these other podcasters like Offworld and like my wife is killing me is doing, you know, you maybe make it that trip. Maybe look and go instead of taking the kids to Disney, we're going to leave them home and come to LegionsCon, because those are the memories. When it comes to spending your money wisely, you want to make memories that don't involve your kids. Because the problem is you start to set expectations, and once you've done something nice for your kids, they always want nice things. It's best to dash their hopes by the time they're 5-6 years old, and then you no longer have those expectations. So. No, all in all, and again, obviously that's in jest, but there's some things to do. A lot of people, a lot of families head up to New York and spend a day up there kind of seeing the sights, and maybe that's something your spouse and kids can do, or if they're into this. But yeah, I would love everybody to be able to be here, if not for, you know, meeting me.
That's
you know,
true.
I mean, that's a draw in and of itself.
It is.
So
I will say, and I don't want to blow up your head any more than it already is.
Too late.
But seeing you do the closing out of the show at GCon for the last couple of years, is absolutely amazing. It's one thing to watch it on YouTube and see it, but see you work a crowd live is something that nobody should miss. Everybody should get to see that at least once.
It's a master class.
Yeah,
I
it really
appreciate that
is.
very much. I'm humbled and honored that that they keep asking me to do it, and I told Gerard when he asked me this year, I'm going to do it until you tell me I can't. So
until you take over his job and he gets mad and takes you out.
And even then, you'll probably do it once more. Just grab the mic.
Well,
Go out with the bang.
I'd like to say that if they tell you that you can't do it, I think the people should start chanting, "No Pete or we riot." Like that.
Or all of a sudden I just come out of the back room.
Yeah.
Or what I make Vesa Polo carry me out like I'm a figure on bail.
Yeah, there you go.
Table, So, but no, all in all, if you guys have the opportunity, and even if you've got to do one of those trips where you got to strap it on and drive 6 hours and come and spend 5 hours here and then drive 6 hours home, you're not going to be disappointed.
No.
I truly hope and wish that everybody gets a chance to do that while fully understanding that it might not be in the cards for some. And moving forward, understanding that the Horsemen are the type of people that are going to continue to create opportunities for those people that can't be here. And again, not just like how they do GCon, but other little things they can do throughout the weekend where they can throw it out there, talking and letting everybody know that, hey guys, these figures are going to be available. They're going to do that, and making sure that everybody that can't make it understand that they're still a vital part of the community and the Horsemen care about them, and that's a big deal. So.
I do have 2 comments in the chat here I want to call out before you head out, Pete. One is from Angel that says, Pete has that golden voice. Definitely underrated. So there you go.
I appreciate it, Angel.
Yeah. And then the other one is from Joe Gonzalez, who is somebody that's pretty much watches all of our podcasts. Poor bastard. And he was not here this year, but he plans on being here next year. And he says, Pete is getting a big old handshake from me next year. But brothers don't shake hands, do
Brothers
they?
gotta hug.
Brothers gotta hug.
There's no handshaking at LegionsCon
No,
at all. At all.
I
It's just
LegionsCon
everybody's
wronged.
hugging.
Well, it's super funny too, because let's be honest, it's no secret that there is sometimes some tension between me and other members of this community, specifically in one Facebook group.
You won't name
but
names.
in the grand scheme of
Elliot.
things, everybody saw the photo of me and Elliot together.
Yeah.
It was golden.
Jeremy Gerard kind of poked fun at it, and at the end of the day, Elliot and I don't have any problem with each other.
No.
To be able to do that kind of thing, that's, like I said, that's super cool, and I'm a fan just like anybody else. The first thing that I bought at LegionsCon this year was my Cabal mug that I can't believe I left sitting there when I walked over here. It's full of Johnny Walker Red. But that's the first thing I bought. And I walked around with that thing repping the Cabal all weekend, even though sometimes I'm not always the biggest fan of the posts in there. Being able to hang out with people in person is just different than the internet.
Yeah.
It's just better.
Absolutely. Papa Schmitty asked a good question here. How many bear hugs with 2 back pats did you think you guys do this weekend? So how many times did you give somebody a bear hug and go do the double
every time?
Yeah,
It's a classic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
During GCon,
probably 200 times. I don't
I
know.
think it was during
Couldn't even count.
one of the quietest moments. I think it was like the Mike and Brad reveal. Someone was making their way down the side of the room to try to leave, and they were like hugging everybody, and everybody was doing the 5 tap. So they're up there trying to talk about the next figure, and I just keep hearing. Like everybody,
I was sitting right on that edge. I know exactly that moment you're talking about. I was thinking the same thing.
That's weird because I couldn't see that side of the room, so I looked around. I just saw Emil and Steven sitting next to each other, and I thought he was beating him off. So I didn't know. Oh, that's the wrong show. I'm sorry.
I totally forgot this is Off-World. I've been trying to be really nice.
No, this is shooting the shelf.
Oh, this is shooting the shelf.
Shooting the shelf after hours.
Okay.
All the channels. Right
Yeah.
now.
One of the other things, and it's super funny that you bring that up. I actually blew somebody's mind the other day, and I don't remember where I read this or who told me this, but you see it walking around the con. So you're walking down the aisle, right?
Yep.
And somebody approaches you, and how well you know that person determines your nod, right?
Yeah.
Because if they're coming at you, if you know them, it's up, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't know who they are, it's down. Like, hey, how you doing? And I said this to a friend of mine, and he goes, "Yeah, holy, you're right. I do that." And I said, we all do that, man. It's human nature. And you walk down the aisles of LegionsCon, and you see everybody.
Exactly.
I just feel like I give
Like you're
everybody
having
the,
a seizure.
the
you know?
awkward smile, like
Yeah. See what I got is
like I'm trying to get to the
at
copier.
one point Pete was walking up to me. At one point Pete's walking up to me and he looks up and we make eye contact and then he pulls out his phone and he's doing something and I think he's going to show me something on his phone. Meanwhile, he's just texting somebody and I'm like, why am I staring at your phone? Like this is not, yeah. But I thought he was like getting ready to show me something. Like, no, he doesn't even know I'm there. So
And one of the coolest parts, obviously, seeing everybody, and we always give the precursor before this happens of, please don't think we're jerks. We might not know who you are. Every single Sunday you tune in and you see our faces and you're on our Facebook. You know who we look. There's only 4 of us on the show. You know what we look like. If we don't know what you look like, please don't be offended. And what's great is people literally walk up and they just introduce themselves. And this year I'm like, this is the 3rd year in a row this guy's introduced himself. Because I'm like, because he knows I'm an idiot and I probably don't remember, you know? So, well, awesome. Well, hey, you guys keep up the good work.
Thanks for joining us.
Have fun.
Yep.
I'm actually gonna probably call it because I got to drive 12 hours tomorrow. So
I was gonna say,
safe trip home.
Yes, thanks,
regardless,
you guys too.
dump that mug there because Travis has definitely loaded that with something by now.
Yeah,
So.
everything needs a little kick. So
have a good one,
See you
Pete.
guys.
All right, Pete.
See you, Pete.
All right. What else, guys? I know you said, you already got your heartwarming stories. You got something, Sean?
I have. I mean, there was the Matt Rodriguez one, which that was probably one of the mind-blowing parts of the whole con for me. One of mine is also today I got to walk up to Nate Barch. He had nobody at the table for like 5 minutes, and so I asked him previously if he doesn't mind me bringing over the Legends of Grayskull or the Legends of Grayskull podcast logo that I created over the years.
Ladies and gentlemen, impromptu.
Let's do it.
Joe Vasapolo, everybody.
Well,
Joe,
thanks.
What from a studio standpoint, going through this, like, how exhausting from intern all the way through the last day of LegionsCon? Like, can you kind of give us an idea of what kind of energy that takes to do all that? All right, Joe.
There it is.
He finally
all the energy.
He finally stopped for the first time in 4 days, so now he's just done.
It's like a shark in the water.
It's driven by passion, which makes it a lot easier and makes it a lot more bearable. I guess is the way to put it.
Noble, bearable.
You noble bear. That's
noble. That was great.
That was fun. I'm used to being the guy behind the curtain. I've had some stagehand backgrounds.
Oh, okay.
So when I get to slip out on the other side every now and then, maybe ham it up a bit.
It seemed like you kind of ratcheted that up a little bit this year. I mean, you always kind of done a little bit of that, but this year you were kind of the center of attention when you came out. Not only for the figure you're carrying.
Because I'm like, hey, look at the news thing. Yeah, of course.
But getting people
but if you're not in the
and-
front row, the thing everybody else sees as that figure's coming out till the camera turns to it is your face.
Okay.
Because it's in front of everybody in the front row.
I've been told this face says a lot of things, and I don't always know what it's saying, and it doesn't necessarily mean what it looks like. So I apologize ahead of time.
When you're bringing the figures out, it's saying all the right things.
Joy.
Yeah,
something like that. But I'm heading out. It was nice to see you guys, and
beautiful.
Like,
It was
like
a
we
great
said before,
time.
Can't do it without you. We can't do what we love to do without fans. Me being a fan myself, understand that because they've given me a wonderful living, and it's been going good, and we all just kind of help each other make it happen. So
that's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, you guys kicked butt, and we're happy for your dwarves. So big win for dwarves.
And
All right,
we'll get you on the shelf sometime for
absolutely
1-on-1 or
Absolutely.
2-on-1. I don't know. This is getting weird.
I
There's
like
math
where
involved.
this is going.
It just sounds dirty the more we talk.
Yeah, pretty much. All right.
See you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Sean. Yeah,
The more my mouth.
Good to
Good
see you.
night, Joe. I'm not even going to finish that sentence.
Thank you.
That
Have a
was
good one.
Real quick,
Yep.
if you don't mind, Sean.
Ryan Gonzalez, Offworld 2.0.
You're heading out.
upstairs.
Man, it's a pleasure.
Absolutely,
Always a pleasure,
absolutely.
Ryan.
Thank you.
Always a
We're
pleasure.
saying goodbye to Ryan, one of the real true gems of this community.
Absolutely.
Bat
check
Bros,
check
the
him out.
Rygon.
Check them out on Off-World 2.0 and
Saturday
Saturday
Day
Day Live.
I said it right.
Where they have the,
Well, we
the
can make us
coolest
look good.
nicknames in the business. Hedgehog, Late Night, and Rygon. Have a good one, sir.
Everybody.
We'll see you
So
next
long.
year.
And just real quick before we get back to Sean, jumping on what Joe said, like, so you see Joe and everybody, like all the horse crew, like racing
Horse
around.
crew?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're similar to the ox crew, but
Okay.
the horse-
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I never heard that term, but okay, go ahead.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So you see, but you see all these guys,
And
they're
ladies.
busy.
And
They're
ladies,
moving
yeah.
around. They got stuff to do, but they're doing it. But no one seemed irritated or frantic, or they were just like they were just as happy to be doing this and putting this on for us as we are to attend it. And that's
Yeah.
just again, just the climate around here.
Yeah.
Lots of that you'll see. You go to some shows, you'll see staff like arguing with each other and stuff. You're never going to see these guys argue with each other.
Well,
They might
here's what
have fun, but
let me just jump in because
Jump on in, baby.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
My wife came with me this year. She doesn't normally pretty much.
She is a saint.
She is. She helps me with creating certain dios and soft goods and stuff, and she appreciates the art of the figure, but she doesn't really collect them too much. She's got a couple that she likes and stuff, but she came to intern, and I figured it was kind of going to be one of those things that like if you go with your wife to the opera or something, like, it's kind of one of those things. Like you don't want to be there, but you're gonna make it through it. Kind of those things. She loved it. Like we went to intern and like just seeing what everybody does, seeing how friendly they are, like the way that the business operates, how creative they are, how just nurturing that environment is. Like she fell in love. Like right at intern, she fell in love. And so this weekend, like she's going around collecting stickers from all these different vendors.
Yep.
She's going and trying to get a picture with all the different people that work at the studio.
Yep.
And to your point, like none of them were like, "Hey, we're too busy," like whatever.
I got stuff to do.
No,
you don't
and
get
it's
that.
like, or like, who the hell are you? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, this is her first time being here. She really hasn't talked to these folks before, but she's like just coming up to them, like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And they're like, "Absolutely," I went and talked. Oh, she came to talk to me the other day. I was like, "Where you been?" She goes, "Oh, I was talking to Eric Treadaway." I'm like, okay, all right. But yeah, it's like I said, just like you were talking about, like these folks, it's a whirlwind, from opening their doors to all these people at intern and telling them what, showing them what they do on a daily basis, to then putting on that huge event of GCon and all these reveals and all the people in there and stuff, to then go into their biggest convention of the year and make it a place where all these folks can gather and have a great week and, enjoy each other's work. It's something special. And they put in all this time and energy, and you see like Joe was just exhausted just now, because it's at that time where the adrenaline's starting to run out. But for 4 days, these guys were superstars. So
not to mention all the setup that we don't get to see before that happens.
Oh yeah, and the
Right.
behind the curtain stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they've been going all week.
Yeah, they were saying they were painting that Ziri that we talked about. That was leading all the way up to early morning hours of them trying to finish that and get it here to display the next day. So it's pretty crazy.
But Sean, you were talking to Nate Barch.
All right,
Yes, you
so I got to have some time with him, and I brought over the print that we made for Legends of Grayskull, and he took the time to give me a critique, and that was, that's priceless when you're an artist and you get to talk to someone who you look at as not only an influence in what you do, but also like your hero, because here's someone who he loves a lot of the same things I do, and he's managed to make a living doing his art for the packaging and for also brands like Masters of the Universe, as well as what the Horsemen are working on. And he didn't have to do that. He did. And he was very humble in how he did it, because it's Nate Barch, obviously. And he's like, well, I want to go over what I see as positive about this. And I go, after he did that, which I appreciated, then I go, hit me with a negative. I want some criticism from you too, Nate. Don't just give me the good stuff. And he gave me some things. It's okay, you can focus on this a little more and stuff. And the best part, though, was his son comes up to the table, because his son was here helping him this weekend too. And the minute he
he's
comes,
amazing, by the way.
Caleb, he
great-
came up
great
to the
kid.
table and he looks at the print in front of his dad and he goes, "That's cool." And I just smiled at him and I'm like, "I like you so much." I'm like, "Pleased to meet you. I'm Sean. I'm Caleb." And I got to let him take the print with him. And that's the first time I've ever given Nate anything after coming to the convention and getting things from him all these times. So it meant something to me that he got to do that. And I'll just throw it out there too, just being with you four guys this weekend. I mean, we've never been in the same room. We're always just, StreamYarding it. And here we are. It all worked out that we're all here. I actually really need that. Thank you so much.
I got you.
And it's just great. The fact that we're able to do this episode tonight and we did the other stuff throughout the weekend. So yeah, good times.
Yeah, another thing that happened to me that it was just kind of a, you come here and even if you're like a big asshole like me, like you're just filled and surrounded by so much love that it kind of like warms your heart a little bit. It's like the Grinch, like your heart grows 3 sizes that day.
Yeah.
So like I had this one gentleman came up to my table and he was kind of admiring one of the customs. It was like a Grim Reaper type custom. And he was asking about the soft goods and stuff and wanted to know if I would, sell the soft goods separately. And I told him that it was basically just a full custom, but I could make him a deal on it. And he's like, well, I've spent quite a bit already and this and that. And he's like, I'm getting into toy photography. And I go, well, what's your Instagram handle? And he goes, well, I don't have anything on Facebook or Instagram or any of that right now. I'm just kind of sending things to people via email. I said, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I said, I'm going to give you this custom for free, but I want you to go home, start an Instagram.
You got to.
Mm-hmm. And I want you to start putting your toy photography on Instagram. I said, I want you to let us know. I gave him one of our shooting the shelf cards. I said, I want you to let us know. Once you start posting your stuff on Instagram, I want to put it and highlight it on our show and make it a shelf selection. Because
that'd be a good name for a segment.
That it would be a great name. Because I wanted to encourage him to like, hey, get more into this. If this is something you enjoy and you're having fun doing, share it with people because that's how you're going to get encouraged to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So, he was just overwhelmed and we had a great moment. We took a picture together with the figure and he's like, I don't know how to make an Instagram, but I'm going to find out. So, just stuff like that, man. This weekend, you hear a lot leading up to it. I'm just excited to see the people and stuff. And it does kind of feel like a cop-out answer. But in reality, the relationships here it's far more important than anything else going on in plastic. So
I got to say, me personally, I met my favorite Curtis this week. And that is LegionsCon Curtis because we were messaging in the days leading up to it.
We have each other's phone numbers now.
I do. I cannot wait till 4 a.m. when I'm leaving for work to send Curtis pics. But so we're messaging earlier in the week, kind of trying to plot out our tentative plans, which of course went to shit once we actually got here and everything just went woo. But I said to Curtis, I'm like, hey, I just want to know what's our plan for Friday because I'm getting in on Friday, and I know each and every Friday night. Yeah. And Curtis was just like, yeah, I'm good, whatever. We don't do anything. I don't care. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, but
I was
now that you've experienced the Friday night. Do you think we could have planned anything for Friday night? Realistically,
it would have been nuts. But
would have been like me at PowerCon falling asleep at the table,
right,
mumbling incoherently.
But that would have been sort of funny because I actually heard some people say that was an interesting version of you they saw that night.
I was gonna say if
it's
memorable,
but if it's all for, there's got to be someone who's on point to
if anything, it would have probably honestly been me with my phone, not even with the setup, just going around the LegionsCon setup and
Jesse,
like,
how you get that phone out of my face or I'm gonna break your finger.
Jesse. Oh my God, Jesse putting heads
Yeah.
on the spice rack or what, you know, the rack. Dude, I have never seen anyone so focused. Like you're like
It's weird because people ask like, what can we do to help? What can we do to help? And I'm like, I don't.
Get the fuck away from me.
It's like I don't know.
That's what
like,
you can do.
Can I jump in real quick because the man was complimenting me, and I feel like I gotta at least respond. Okay. You know, dude said that he met his favorite version of Curtis. And I just want to throw out there that I met my least favorite version of Jesse, which is Setup Jesse. because
just let him go.
Because Setup Jesse, if you try to show him, I tried to give him a painted head that he wanted from me. And he was like, not now, I'm busy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is. Listen, this guy seems like a teddy bear. And normally 9 times out of 10 he is. But if he's setting up his table, leave him the F alone. Okay. Yeah. So.
That's also why I avoided it. I know how you are, and I'm okay with that.
See, yeah, you got it.
I've known you for so long that I've seen you in that mode before, even before LegionsCon. Like when we did Baltimore Comic Con 10 years ago, I do remember that, and I remember just going, I'm going to stand here, and until you let me know, I'm not going to bother you. That's cool. And I'm not saying that to make you feel bad. I'm just saying I understand that motive.
Well, I learned that this weekend because when it got to the end of the con and we're doing teardown, Dooch is talking to me like we're going to try to coordinate what we were doing tonight, and I'm like, I'm not talking to Jesse until he's done. And
I told him, neither am I.
Because I don't want to get yelled at. So let's let him finish, and then we will figure out what we're doing. And that's why I had to give Dooch my number, because I had to make sure that he could let me know, because I was not going to try to contact Jesse.
Yep.
So
And
he was in a leave me alone zone, and I was respecting that.
So I kept the safe distance, kind of like the splash zone at SeaWorld. Like there was a point I couldn't cross. And then once I saw Jesse put the last thing away, then I approached.
It
cautiously, hands up, you know what I mean? Like you gotta.
I come in peace.
Right.
It made me understand a little bit more what happened at the end of LegionsCon last year, because I'm thinking that somebody must have just talked to him while he was closing up, and he was like,
yeah.
From what I hear, that was kind of.
So, Jesse, did you have a good time?
I can't handle existence anymore. Coconuts have water in them.
No, it's I real talk. Hashtag real talk.
Hot
so
take?
No,
just
not hot take. Not making an excuse. I was diagnosed this year with ADHD, and I like that hyper focus, like executive thing. If I get thrown off, it takes me so long to get back on track. So I didn't mean to snap anybody, and if I probably didn't think I was snapping at anybody.
We still love you.
In my mind, I was like, give me a minute. Or like, hold on.
That is not the words that came out of your mouth.
I didn't say that's what it was.
But
I didn't say that's what it was. But in my mind, that's how I thought I was reacting.
Gotcha. There was a disconnect between your mind and your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had the thing where you come at me or anything like that, but I definitely have seen it where I'll ask you something while you're doing your setup in one way or another, and I just know, okay, I just set you completely off of what you're trying to do. Therefore, my bad, more than anything, because then you'll go, what was I doing? Wait, what? And then it's like, oh boy, here we go. Just I'll bug you later. It's okay.
And part of it's is because I'm sharing the table with 2 other folks, so I want to make sure like they're getting the space they need and all that stuff. So it's like it's a weird mode. So I apologize if I snapped at anybody.
You're fine. You're fine.
Thank you for accepting me as I am.
We do. Another awesome thing that happened this weekend was Four Horsemen did this really cool thing where they had taken some dios that they had at previous conventions, and they raffled it off.
Yep.
And the proceeds from the raffle, they matched the proceeds.
Yep.
And they're giving that to a charity that's for, my understanding, is for a toy drive that Chubsy's is doing.
Yep. The local toy drive.
Yep. And so, which is really cool. But then in addition to that, in addition to the dios, they said they were going to fill the dios, whoever wins it, with figures.
Yes.
So you get the dios, you get the figures. And so people were putting in for this raffle, and they pulled it. And the cosmic one went to our very own Matthew Dooch.
Me?
Yes, you.
I do have it. It's in my van right now.
And you got some figures, didn't you?
So first off, let me just take you guys back again. I know, Curtis, you were there because you had to be present to win.
Mhm.
However, it was for both dials. It was the first ticket pulled, so there wasn't any of that. Like, wouldn't that be the worst to find out
they had
later
went
that
through
your
like
ticket
5,
had been pulled and you forgot to come over? But yeah, so first ticket pulled, and they did the Cosmic first. Lovely, sweet little girl. I didn't catch her name. She was here with her mom, and they were enjoying it.
Mhm.
Right. Well, maybe 6 years old.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah,
she was adorable too, because you're like, and the winner of this
she was
dio
into
is,
it.
and
Oh my
she
God.
was.
But
She might take Pete's job next year, closing out the show.
So I don't know if you could see me. I was standing
Don't
by
let him know that, boy.
I was standing by the Michigan boys, Kyle and Ben and all
Yep.
that. And so they pull the number, she reads it, and I'm just scanning my tickets, and I'm like, as they're going down, you know your range. I bought all 5 at one time.
Right.
So you know your range, and you're like, one, yes, 3, yes, okay. It's like, and then it's like right in the middle of mine. It was 4, and I had like 2 through 7 or 2 through 6, whatever that math's out. And I'm just like going over the numbers again, and then Pete takes a ticket from the girl because no one's walking up, and I'm just
Because you're
sitting there.
dumbfounded.
My hand's literally shaking as I just keep reading the number, and I'm thinking in my head, I don't win this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
you even told me right beforehand. You're like, I don't win this.
I don't
kind
win
of
anything.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just getting, and then Pete takes it and he repeats it because I'm in my head. I'm like, I heard her wrong. It's not 1, 3, 4. And then he repeats 1, 3, 4. I literally can't speak. I just walk over to Pete and my hand is literally shaking. And I just hold it in front of his face. Yeah, and he takes it and verifies, and he's like, "All right, we have a winner." And then I'm like, but yeah, I was physically shaking. I couldn't. The whole time from she pulled the ticket to I walked up was like, it felt like 20 minutes.
It was a while. Like it was almost to the point where people were starting to think like, pull another one.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
So I get mine. I feel so bad because it was a wife was there for her husband who was in the painting session. They won the Mythic dial. I can't remember their names. They told me. I feel bad, guys. Sorry. It'll come to me. But so they did that and everything, and
I know the Horsemen were willing to ship the dio, but you actually
they
had
were so
the availability.
So then they're like, basically just come back when you see us tearing this down, and we'll work out the details. So there wasn't much there. So, I went and got my stuff, broke down the table with Sean, blah, 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 blah. And I came back down, and once they started breaking it down, I'm like, I go up to George is the one who gets to the dial first. I do the Cosmic dial first. And I'm like, I'm like, hey, I just, it's kind of figuring out. I'm like, I know they said there was figures. And at first he's like, no, there's no figures. It's just a dial. And I'm like, oh, well, that's still cool. But I'm like, but the sign says figures, and he's like, well, let me check with Jim and I'll let you know. And I'm like, cool, I'm just hanging back. And then he's like, they're talking, and he's like, well, because they had wave 1 and wave 2 of Cosmic Legions in there, and then they also had the prototypes for the next wave. No, not Ox Crew. Zaxius, yes. And they're like, well, no, it can't be figures because you can't have the prototypes. I'm like, I'll take the prototypes if you want to give them to me, but no, I don't expect prototypes. So basically, he got the word that it was every figure in there that wasn't a prototype.
That's awesome.
So I got the cool dio. I got the waves 1 and 2 of Cosmic Legions. And then Joe comes out and he's like, all right. He's like, well, what's your address? Where do you live? I'm like, I can just take it home today, right? He's like, can you take it home today? And I'm like, yeah, like I have a minivan, thanks to Jesse, because I had to pick up that dial for him. I took out the middle row of seats and the back folds down. Like, I literally have a minivan with no seats in the back. And Joe literally drops to his knees and goes, thank you. And I'm like, I thank you. Like, I want to take it today. So they loaded all up, and then
helping out Jesse led to you being able to take this thing home
easily
with you.
take this home. Yes.
And not only are you taking that one home,
But I also got Jesse's
The one that you
LegionsCon
brought
now,
here.
the one that I brought here. So
Yeah.
it's a huge win. And then Nate Barch and a couple other guys were in charge of packing up the figures because those were the figures. I don't know if you talked about it here, but you talked about it on Legends that Sean helped set up on Friday. They literally just went and got figures from the show and were opening them up. So they had all the boxes and the trays, but then all the figures were loose. They're like, so Nate and them were like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and get these all back in the trays for you. I'm like, why are you guys gonna waste time? You got so much to do here. I'm like, just put them in a box. They're like, well, what do you want to do with the box? I'm like, we got all these boxes everywhere. Like, I'm like, just throw the boxes in one box, throw all the figures in another box, and I'll sort it out, whatever I want to do with them. And so they were like, thank you. And I'm like, why are you guys thanking me? Like, I need to thank you. This is amazing. So up until now, the only figure I had from Cosmic was Operative 83.
Yep,
and now all of a sudden I've got the full first two waves in him and two wonderful dios. And I know you guys saw it together, but the cool thing was, so it was like a double-sided dio with like 4 sections. You know, there was like a lab and like a market and a tower and like a rocky jungle. And so I'm like, I'm going to have to get like a table that like maybe I can spin or something so I can, spin it around once in a while. And then they're taking it apart in each of those 4 sections that were like 2x2. They're completely freestanding separate sections. So
it's all modular.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can take it home and I can just set it all up along. I can get another rack like I have my Grayskull and Snake Mountain on and set all that up there and then have Jesse's next to it. I got to do some rearranging, but yeah.
Well, once you do, we expect to see a tour and see.
I do need to still do a tour.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So, but yeah, it was a huge win. My mind's still blown, and like the whole rest of the day is just. I didn't even have words at the time. Literally could not talk until after everything was verified.
Well, right after it happened, you literally floated up to me because you were not walking. You literally were like, when you saw me, and I'm like, what happened? And then you told me, and you're hugging me, and I'm like, I guess we're hugging now. And also, congratulations. So, yeah. But I just found it to be ironic. The guy who has literally one Cosmic Legions figure leaves with everything today. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Beautiful. What else, guys? Any other heartwarming stories?
Well, we got to do this.
Yeah,
we did. This is the first time. Well, it's the first time that Dooch and Sean have been together, which is impressive in and of itself because you guys have been doing a show for what, 3 years now?
3 going on 4.
Yeah, our third, almost 4, really, because January is our anniversary.
4 years.
So first time that you guys have been together, and then as an off-world crew, this is our first time all being together and all being on the screen at the same time without being on different computers.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Beautiful. Plus, we got to see a few of the Off-World 2.0 folks come in, so we could see who's going to replace Dooch. We got to see Greg and Rygon. So, and I mean, Joe's in chat, and he could easily replace Dooch as well.
Nobody can replace Dooch.
I would love to have a night with Joe.
We got Greg, formerly of the Brute Scale here, says, "Hey, my bros just got home. Love you, man. Before heading home tomorrow, you guys are more than welcome to stop by the house and see the room. I'm 26 minutes away from the con." Wow. Greg, that is an amazing offer. And if it wasn't for me having to be at the airport to drop off my son at 4 a.m., I would probably take you up on that. But I think that waking Greg up at 4 a.m. sounds like a very terrible idea.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Considering that I doubt that he's going to get to bed till in some other time in the AM.
Yeah.
So, but thank you for the offer. If these guys want to take you up on it, I'm sure they'll reach out to you.
I will be gone by then, unfortunately.
Joe Gonzalez, member of the channel, has a request. He wants to see a Curtis and Dooch hug.
This is
all the humanity.
Sorry, we're having some sort of technical difficulties on the stream tonight, folks.
Oh,
I
my
kind of
goodness.
expected Curtis to match my energy. I'm disappointed.
I was thinking you were joking.
In the words of Renetta Irby.
Yeah.
What the hell?
What the hell?
So when we do this again next year, I don't want to know what we're gonna do to top that. So we'll just leave that out there until 2024.
This got weird. I can read that
So-
one. Oh boy.
Well,
it's
yeah.
totally worth the membership.
and in 2024, watch out for Shooting the Shelf on OnlyFans,
Yeah.
where we will have another show apparently. That will just be between Curtis and the Dooch, though. I'm not going to be even man enough to
You
be
will
in the
be
middle
between
of that.
Curtis and
That
the
no.
Dooch,
That can be like shooting the legends or something. Not I'm not
shooting the Dooch all over. Legends.
Oh God, have mercy.
What'd Joe say? Was he pleased? I see his name. I can't see.
I just read it.
He said
Dooching
that
the
was
shelf.
totally worth the membership cost.
See, so you were just so hyper focused putting your shirt on, you didn't hear me read that.
I didn't. I was turned that way, and
When he turns around, he doesn't hear you.
It's like he
That's
turns.
how it works.
He turns off.
And
If I can't see
Kevin
you-
Dufresne said, "This got weird."
Oh.
What did he say after that?
Start Shooting the Shelf just got a new meeting.
oh, you all got dooched.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's up?
Yes.
We got
Absolutely.
Camp Pool. We got Big Dub here.
Welcome back, guys.
You guys heading out?
We're heading to bed.
Heading to bed. Oh yeah, this
hours.
my got me into interns so I can spend time with my family, and I can never tell you how much I appreciate it, sir.
It was awesome.
I think he means
very
like
much.
I'm never going to tell you how much I appreciate it.
Any last minute thoughts for these folks on things that
Get-
why they should be here next year?
Get to 24. You gotta be here.
I feel like
Be part of this.
I can truly speak on this at a expert level. This isn't funny. At an expert level, I've probably gone to 100 conventions. Maybe more.
You've attended a lot. You've
I
got
go
a
to
lot of
many,
content.
many
Yes.
things, and I often bring an entourage.
Yep.
Where I'll have 20, 25 people that I am very good friends with or have known for years and years. This is as much fun as I've had at a convention. And basically none of the people that go to all those with me were here.
Yep.
Yeah, I picked up Ken on the way, and Ken and I don't know each other. I mean, he lives 4 hours from me, so it's not like we're all the time at things. So that says a lot about the community itself and how embracing. And it's not like we don't all talk on the internet and do things, but there's also a lot of talking on the internet that's not real. It's
Yeah,
real
yeah.
here. So both the art and the people are. I had lofty expectations. Are way above what you think. Way above what you think, because every single table in there, you look at and you go, "Man, this person is so talented, and they're my friend."
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the main complaint I hear about, complaint's not the right word. My friends I have that are into toys but aren't into Mythic Legions, they're like, I don't have an attachment to them. I'm like, it's because you don't think about it the right way.
Yeah.
We all have an attachment of sitting on the floor playing with toys.
Yep.
That is the actual nostalgia.
Yes.
It's not Spider-Man, it's that playing with Spider-Man.
Yep.
And that's what this lets us do. We get to play with our friends with toys. And in some cases, you get to make money doing it. Make a little bit back.
There you go. Well, what about you,
That's the
Kent?
part I
What
gotta
what do you
Yeah.
think these folks should be looking forward to and coming here for next year?
So the thing that surprised me the most, especially shooting the shelf, how great Jesse hair smells. You can't get that watching the show. So
Yeah.
And you guys
unless
thought
you
it
have a
was
smell
weird
vision,
already,
it's gotta
right?
be-
you gotta.
It's dumb.
It surprised me earlier when I came.
He's
up,
worth
I was
it.
like, what is that? Man, that is some great smell.
Because he's worth it.
So if you want to smell Jesse's great hair, you gotta get to 24.
Yeah. Another thing, both of these guys, great content. If you're not subscribed to them, please make sure you subscribe. I know for a fact that they were taking some behind the scenes type stuff at Intern. So for those of you who have never made it to Intern, be on the lookout because these guys are going to have some material that you're definitely going to want to see. It is pretty cool stuff. So you guys want to throw out your little handles there so that they can follow you guys?
Big
Camp Pool
Dub.
collects.
BIGDUB, Big Dub. but subscribe to these guys. Let's get them to 1,000. If
These
you're
guys,
watching
yeah,
and you
come
click
on.
the button, they need to be 1,000 subscribers.
Likes,
We're gonna get that done soon. Not over next LegionsCon, before spring.
Well,
before Christmas.
I tell you what, it
Let's
was
go.
it was great seeing you guys this year. We look forward to seeing you guys again next year.
Yep.
We just thank you for everything you do. We definitely want to get you back on the channel as fast as we can, and
And
want
on
to
the
get
channel.
you on the channel. So
On the channel.
yeah, absolutely. So we'll be in touch. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
You safe
Yeah.
going home.
Thanks. Thank you.
When's the last time Curtis said he wanted us back on here? I mean, we basically
Well,
had
you're
to
here
force
right
our
now.
way on
I've said
today.
it to Sean and Jesse.
Next year, maybe.
More than I've gotten.
Yeah, I've said it to Sean and Jesse a lot.
You only let me come on because I brought the computer and the microphone.
that does make it difficult for me to kick you out.
All right, well, I'm going home.
I am a little
After
bit
that-
trapped in a box here.
So yeah, the guys are adjusting to that really deep, meaningful comment from Big Dub. They gotta. But seriously, obviously we know some folks couldn't make it for very, 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 very valid reasons, that's totally understandable. We're genuinely not trying to make you feel bad for missing out. Just want to let you know that the folks that couldn't be here, that have been here before, we missed you. Folks who haven't been here yet, we hope to see you next year, because they did officially announce next year's convention, November 9th and 10th. So basically
The first weekend.
the first full weekend of November next year. And they did say it's the 25th. It's the same place.
Right
It's in the
here.
same place
Right here.
at the
Hanover
Hanover
Marriott.
Marriott.
Whippany, New Jersey.
Yeah, it's 25 years of Four Horsemen Studios, and it's 10 years of Mythic Legions. They didn't say it out loud, but it is The Year of the Dragon. The Year of the Dragon. So predictions are being made, folks.
Yep. And you asked for him. He's here.
We're getting there.
We got Sig.
Honestly, this is why we set up here. Hey.
Yeah.
What's
Hey,
happening?
Ryan.
Hi guys. Sig.
Sig.
You guys are still on.
We are. And these folks,
Sweet.
they were asking for you. They said,
I'm
where's
here.
Sig?
Hi.
So
I was drinking.
what did you like? I mean, this is your first time coming to LegionsCon, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So
How to do it.
what did you like about it? Why are you going to be here
like
next year?
about
And
it-
why do they need to come here next year?
Dude, it's surreal. I was completely, blown back by the amount of talent in one room. It was crazy.
Tell them what you told me about being a Smurf.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, where I come from, I'm a genius, and then I walk over here and I'm like a Smurf, and not one of the cool ones either with a snappy name. I'm a background blue guy.
And kind of the what he was saying, like the like everybody's the same as him. Like it's like there may be just talking to you folks out there, you may feel like you're on an island where you're at. That the stuff that you're into, the stuff that you like, the things that you like to do, the hobbies that you have, you may feel like you're on an island. You're not on an island. All right.
dog.
You come here and you're surrounded by people just like you. You're all blue. All
You're
right.
all blue.
You're all blue.
Da-da-dee-da-da-da,
Everybody just loves each other. It's great.
Yeah, it's
All right?
amazing, dude.
Yeah. So be here. We understand if you can't make it because there's stuff going on. We do appreciate that there's situations that you can't get out of, but if you can make it, be here. If that means you need to partner up with somebody and split expenses, split a hotel room, split travel, take a road trip together. Those things could be fun too. So, yeah,
It works. I shared a flight with 200 people.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
and then a room with the three of us.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
we were busting up. Oh my God.
Yeah, and you're gonna say, LegionsCon's not once a year. It's every day, and you can make this happen. All right. So keep the feeling going all year long.
It's awesome.
We're gonna make Jesse mad. Microphone vibrations drive me insane. Set up and tear down. Jesse's about to come out. Oh boy, here come the laser eyes. Chris, you want to come on over here? Pop on over. Yeah, anybody wants to come on. Get on
I'm gonna go
camera.
downstairs.
Chris James, everybody. Chris James.
You said you were leaving, Joe.
He went that way, and he somehow came back from this way.
Oh, he's just leaving us.
Chris,
Okay, got it.
Chris, we're just we're just saying, sharing our love for the LegionsCon with these folks.
Yeah.
Tell us what you liked about this year. Why do they need to come here next year?
For me, the absolute, like, everybody will tell you that the overall interaction with everybody is unlike anything that you're actually going to experience in the Cabal itself. Doing it in person is completely different. For me personally, my biggest takeaway this weekend was the lobby swap that was organized.
By who? By who?
By me. And I reached out. I got approval for it. I had parameters set and everything like that. Everything was good. It's
time.
And the I had it set up. It was, even though it was last minute, it actually exceeded the expectations that I originally had for it. And the takeaway was we wasn't even an hour in, and Joe Patiri came over and told me that it was a genius idea, and it was absolutely amazing. So knowing that from the talk from him that he wants to continue it and do it, that was like the biggest takeaway for me. And
that's awesome.
The overall, just again, just the camaraderie and just seeing everybody, and just there's so much like positivity with it, that everybody is just genuinely like happy and positive and just having a great time. And it's like, for me, like the last 2 days, one, I didn't go to bed until 6:30 because I was just like helping out and doing whatever. My girl told me not to go to, don't go back at 6. I was like, all right, cool. So last night or this morning, I made it back to my room at 5:30 in the morning.
There you go.
I've just been going hard
a little bit
ever
better.
since. So no, that's my takeaway from it.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it, Chris, and you're doing fine work. They couldn't have picked a better new admin in the Cabal. Loved seeing you here and just kind of bouncing around doing your thing throughout the convention. Can't wait to see you again next year, man.
And that lobby swap was really cool. It was a really fun thing. So
it's like we add a little bit each year. Like the whole pop and swap thing last year was great. The transition from the pop and swap to the painting sessions this year was awesome. You now have the switching parts. Folks, we just got joined by the director himself, Director Furry, Jeremy Gerard. Jeremy, we're getting ready to close out the show. We were sharing a lot of.
Close out the show. Does that mean I'm like the headliner?
You are.
I'm the headlining.
You are. You are. Everybody else.
You're the rock star.
Yeah. Everybody else has been building up to this. Yes. We've been sharing love stories about just different heartwarming moments, just great artwork that we've seen this weekend, and just explaining to these people why they need to be here next year. Can you just give us kind of your last thoughts on what it is to be at LegionsCon and why it's so important for these folks to make it?
I almost feel like you can't explain it. I heard so many people this weekend. There was a lot of people that this was their first LegionsCon. A lot of return visitors, but a lot of people first LegionsCon. And so many of them were like, I didn't understand what this was really all about until I came here.
Yeah.
Like if you try to vocalize it, it sounds ridiculous, to be frank, right? That there's over 1,000 Legions fans in this hotel, and all I've heard from the people at the hotel all weekend is how wonderful we are. We're like their favorite group they've ever had. Not only because we had 10-foot ogres in their lobby, which was just cool. I mean, I saw multiple staff members taking photos in front of Curzon.
Yeah.
Like, they do a lot of weddings here. I would hazard to guess that none of them had a 10-foot ogre.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not. But
maybe if Greg can.
You talk about how positive. You talk about how positive it is. You talk about the incredible art that there's going to be. You talk about things like this. Just walking around and stumbling on people hanging out and pop and swap sessions, and but there's so much going on. There's so much happening that if this is part of what's important to you, this is the place you want to do it. This is where everything happens. We do a lot of shows in different places. If you can only get to one, it's got to be LegionsCon, because this is the epicenter of everything in the community.
And if there's one LegionsCon you're going to make it to, next year is the one.
Yeah.
We've already talked about it. 25 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
Year of the Dragon. Be here, okay? It's going to be exciting. You're going to want to be here. All right? Same venue. These guys have been making do with jumping from venue to venue and trying to figure out all the things going on. They're going to be in the same venue next year. They know what they've already game planning now on what they can do.
At dinner, we were literally, a group of us just went out to dinner. We were already talking about next year, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We have this, these ideas of things we want to do, so we need more space for that. It's when you do a show at a venue, you learn things that you can implement the following year. If you're jumping venues every year, you never get the advantage of those lessons you've learned.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're coming back here next year is huge for everything, for all the cool stuff we were able to pull off this year. Next year is going to be even tighter.
And I gotta say, Jeremy, I know I was talking about when Joe was on with us earlier, but like this con ran so smoothly out of all the ones I've been to. All you guys working hard behind the scenes. You always had a smile on your face. You were always happy. Anyone who stopped you, everybody seemed happy to talk and pictures and everything else. And you just, you don't see that at a lot of cons. A lot of them, they'll have their staff that's literally staff there, and they're just doing it as a job, leave me alone, all that.
Yeah.
But like just that right away sets a whole tone. Everything was set up nicely. The exclusives over here, the horsemen over there, the lines were nice and policed, and it was just like the breakout sessions. Everything just flowed smoothly, and big kudos to you and all your team.
Well, I'll tell you, part of that too is, I know a lot of people are always like, oh, I wish LegionsCon would travel. I wish you would go here. I wish you would go there. And, we will say things like the idea of bringing that much inventory. We're 20 minutes from the studio here.
Mm-hmm.
To bring that much inventory to Texas or California or Florida or the United Kingdom or whatever, it's not feasible in a lot of ways. But one thing we don't always talk about is, like you mentioned, the staff, right? The reason that we are able to be, I get to be a big face of this, right? When people stop me, I get to spend some time and talk to them. It's because Joe, my partner in LegionsCon, has an amazing staff that he's worked with for years that are handling all the stuff we don't need to deal with. Okay. I didn't need to move inventory. Right. I didn't need to pull that stuff out because we had people to do that. If we brought this show somewhere else, we wouldn't have those people that work really well that Joe can count on to get this stuff done.
And I feel like most of those guys, if they weren't working it, they would be attending.
They would. A lot of them would, but you can trust them. I mean, so I'll can I tell a little?
Absolutely.
My family, my wife and my two kids, they came in, this year for LegionsCon. They did come last year as well. They took the train in on Friday night, and unbeknownst to me, the train station that I got them tickets to is actually a can I swear in the show?
Yeah.
It's a pretty shitty train station. Okay. And the minute they walked off the platform, they were like accosted by someone who was really, really out of it on substances. It was right in my wife's face, like, you got any money and stuff? That shit's scary.
Yeah.
My wife was freaked out. So today they were really worried about leaving because they had to go back to the train station, like to the point that they were like, maybe we'll just go home with you. I leave in 2 days. Okay. My wife has to work. My kids have school. Right. And I have a truck full of stuff. They were making bad plans just because they were worried. My son had a pit in his stomach all day, worried about going to the train station. One of Joe's guys drove them to the train station, parked his car, went to the platform with them, and waited on the platform with them to see them safely on the train. And then he texted me that my family was safe.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That story alone tells you why I'm never moving LegionsCon out of New Jersey where there's people I can trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely agree. Mm-hmm. As far as the venue, I mean, it's a beautiful venue, easy in, easy out. I mean, it was.
I haven't left this place in 3 days.
Yeah. No, everything's here.
Right here.
Yep.
The pub is a great pub. We had
awesome.
dinner every night there, and variety, and also the food was great. Even if you had a burger each night, it's a great freaking burger.
Just don't try to take the axes off the wall.
Yeah, don't be a house seal. Don't do that.
Oh, you should never be a house seal.
I just want to say that going back to like when Jeremy was in the having the dinner and they were talking already about next year. To me, the analogy of that is like it's like Christmas. Santa's talking to the elves.
Yeah.
Get prepared for next year.
Yeah.
Keep that
All
in
right,
mind.
we got
Making those
365
toys.
days to go.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
So folks, hope that you enjoyed. Thank you for sticking with us. We know there's been a lot of people in and out and shuffling around and people going to the bathroom, but we just thought this was really important to do tonight and get this knocked out and get some folks on camera to really share their experiences with you, because we want you all here next year. So
Can I say one last thing?
Absolutely.
LegionsCon 2024. We're going to give you a Legions buying experience that you've never had anywhere else. Okay, trust me. It's all I can say about it right now, but there is going to be something very, very special. We had something special this year.
We did,
right?
Yep.
We have to
did.
find a way to follow that up.
It was awesome.
We'll see what that's going to be.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy.
And until next time,
what's on your shelf? That's it. Thank you.